You're in Braves country.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a-ding-dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves they're taking a 1-run lead. A banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop. All throughout Braves country, pop that top! Your Atlanta Braves have won it all!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate. Please remain standing. We call your attention to our fans here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture. Our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Play ball! At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Good afternoon, Braves country. Happy lunchtime, and Atlanta Braves are going to be taking on the Philadelphia Phillies for a 3-game series, because once again, we have weather issues in the area. Today looks like it's going to go off without a hitch. That's number one. So that'll be a 6:45 start. We'll come on the air and start the stream around 6 because we'll be replaying this broadcast for those who are not in the country club and can't watch it live on video. You will get the audio version of it, or you could have jumped into TikTok, and we're going to go ahead and welcome in our Facebook group here in 1 second. We can't pre-do the Facebook group. We have to send it afterwards. Because every time that we do one that says Braves Country Today on Facebook, they think we're playing a damn ball game on the screen. So it's just easier to do it this way. But anyways, welcome in Facebook and TikTok, and of course Braves Country Radio on YouTube. And that's where you really want to absorb this, because especially during the games, you get the 3D action, you get the play-by-play, the whole 9 yards. The rest of the outlets, we just do the shows. And we do these shows every game series beginning. So the beginning of the series, we do them on noon Eastern, and they run about a half hour at the most. We try to keep them fairly short and sweet and get to the bullet points of what's going on in Major League Baseball, but primarily with the Atlanta Braves. And we've got Spencer Strider on the bump today. Sorry, it bothers me if I don't have my shirt buttoned up. I just realized it wasn't buttoned. Spencer Strider is on the bump today, and he's going to be going up against Ranger Suarez. And if you noticed, if you were paying attention, I'm sure a lot of y'all weren't, because what the hell, you have lives, but I do not, as I'm always absorbed and consumed by Atlanta Braves baseball. But the Philadelphia Phillies skipped a pitcher to bring Ranger Suarez into the fold, who has pitched very well against Atlanta, and they have skipped Taijuan Walker in their rotation to put it as a Suarez, Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, who right now are the three best pitchers, and I think are their three best pitchers, period. I think they massively overpaid for Aaron Nola. I'm so glad, we talked about it at the time, but I'm so glad that the Braves went after Aaron Nola, and I'm glad they never got a actual, like, real talks with Aaron Nola, because I thought he was overpriced to begin with, thought he was a guy that was going to deteriorate quickly, and he has. He's on the IL right now. And I don't think he's as bad as his record is, but I also never thought he was as good as he was in previous years, because he's a guy that relies on junk, but as his velocity goes down, his junk is going to be easier to tattoo, and that's what's going on right now. But it's going to be Suarez, Wheeler, and Sanchez, and we're going to have Strider, A.J. Smith-Shawver, and Chris Sale. And that's a big question mark, because tomorrow night's game is going to be in huge doubt. I just checked the weather again right before we went on. It looks like it's going to start raining about late morning in Philadelphia tomorrow and just rain the whole damn day. I'll give you actual numbers here 1 second as I'll pull it right back up. I had it saved, so it shouldn't take too long. But tonight, we're expecting temperatures in the 60s and a slight wind about 10 miles an hour. See, they're actually projecting it to be blowing out towards right center, so we could have a fairly high-scoring game. But it's tomorrow. It comes in the early morning, so you couldn't even jump in front and say, hey, we want to play this game early tomorrow. Let's go. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The way it looks is that the rain moves in around 6 in the morning, and it's going to hang out. And I'm talking about with a 75 to 95% precipitation is what they're projecting for the entire day, all the way until 4 in the morning. So almost 24 hours. Philly's going to get dumped on. Actually, for the next 72 hours, Philly's going to get dumped on. Hey, here come the Braves. But in all seriousness, Thursday looks pretty good. It's going to be cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a rain situation. Let me double check on the daily. It looks like you could get a double header in on Thursday. I know the Braves a lot of times like to kick the can down the road on doubleheaders. Man, I say sometimes you just got to get the damn things over with, because we're getting these doubleheaders. We've already got the one with Washington late in the year, and you keep kicking that can down the road. It's going to be impossible to get some of these games in to where you could function
and get the games in. Well, remember last year when we had the game rained out in Chicago, as opposed to doing a doubleheader, they pushed it to the middle of the summer when we were supposed to have an off day, and it totally wrecked our schedule. We were supposed to have an off day. Instead, we flew in from St. Louis, played the one game for the White Sox, and then had to head out. I forget where we headed out to, but it was somewhere fairly close. But the point was, these guys didn't get a break in the action. And you start getting these double headers banged in. It's going to be a little easier in the one that they pushed down the road in September because, assuming weather that day, you're going to have expanded rosters, and it's a lot easier to absorb these when expanded rosters happen. And I do believe that that had a lot to do with the decision to push that one back with Washington. Obviously, Washington was the one that made the main decision on it, but I think that had a lot to do with it. Is like, you know what, let's play this when we have expanded rosters. But if you look at Philadelphia, you look at the fact that it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain hard all day tomorrow. The next time we are in Philly is in late June, and that, my friends, is a 4-game series already. You don't want a 5-game series in 4 days at Philadelphia. You just don't. It could totally wreck your season. I don't think Philly wants it either. So hopefully they try to get the thing in on a doubleheader on Thursday, and we'll bring it to you. I just don't see how there's any, because I even watched the weather channel in the Philadelphia area to see, all right, well, what are the chances? Is this accurate? It looks like it's just going to get dumped on for 24 hours. So hopefully that's what happens is we get a doubleheader. I would think they'll probably do a split doubleheader. Though I don't know what Philadelphia normally does, but most of these teams want to get the gates for both receipts. So something like a 1 o'clock and then a 6 o'clock start. Anyways, we'll be ready to roll regardless. All right, let's get to the actual series. So we're going to go under the assumption, once again, that this series goes off without a hitch, and we get the starters that we're supposed to be getting over the next few days. And I still think your starters would, I don't believe they would change. I think what the teams would do, what both teams would do, in all likelihood, is, well, I'll give you, you know what, one caveat to that. There is a possibility that the Braves could call up Bryce Elder on a doubleheader because you're allowed to do that. You can bring up whoever the hell you want and send him back down that next day and then save Smith-Shawver for Friday or Sale. I would think that they would want to send Smith-Shawver to the Friday game because you want Chris Sale going up against the Phillies. He's pitched well against the Phillies, and you're going to have a really tough contest anyways. You could even, in fact, bump Sale up to the start against Wheeler and then have Elder go up against Sanchez, however you want to do it. But that would be the one thing that could change. If they don't, expect them to bring up someone like a Dylan Dodd, not necessarily a Dylan Dodd, to eat innings if the game got out of reach one way or the other. And they could honestly do it with Elder too, if you want to bring up Elder in case Shawver starts getting pounded, and then you say, you know what, we're going to bring Elder out of the pen, and then if you don't need him, then you just send him back down. But either way, the Phillies are going to send out Suarez and Wheeler and Sanchez. Those are their best 3 starters, and there's no way in hell they're going to deviate from that because they're looking at it like this. The Braves are 8.5 back from Philadelphia right now. We're 7 behind the Mets. Philly just went on a tear where they won 9 in a row. They lost their last game, but regardless, they've won 9 of their last 10. Now, that's an extreme outlier. Realize normally a team's winning 6 out of 10 games. So they gained a lot of ground on us, but it was because they were incredibly hot. Will they stay that way? I don't expect that. I think Philly's got a lot of questions in the pitching department, and with their bullpen getting hit with the 80-game suspension by Alvarado, that's a situation too. By the way, on that note, if you're wondering about Jurickson Profar, July 2nd, assuming no more rainouts, but I mean we're already talking about one for tomorrow. July 2nd, at this point, if every game gets played, that would be when Jurickson Profar could come back. He can go back to rehab games 2 weeks before, which I was not aware of that. I thought the last time I saw someone do the 80 game, I thought it was like a week, and then the guy ended up being down there an extra week. but and maybe they've amended it, but regardless, 2 weeks before, so we're talking about Jerks and Profar. We'll start getting Jerks and Profar news in a couple of weeks, middle of June. And at that point, you could see him, when he steps up and he returns, realize that's going to be the end of the line for Stuart Fairchild at that point. And that's why I always thought it was odd when people were just assuming we were going to kick Stuart Fairchild out, and obviously we ended up DFAing Orlando Arcia if you didn't see the news. Stuart Fairchild, I think he's very he's a very usable piece, but he's not someone a lot of guys are going to go out there and scoop up. But I hope that Stuart Fairchild, if he gets released, and this is assuming everybody else is healthy at the time when Profar comes up, that he does make it back through the waivers to us. Because I like the kid. I like the fact that he has a very good glove. He's a good base runner. He can lay bunts down, which that is a skill in itself that a lot of people do not have nowadays. And to me, that would be absolutely awesome. But if he doesn't go through, it doesn't end your plans for the season. I mean, he's a guy who's not hitting the Mendoza line, anywhere near the Mendoza line, and it is what it is. But when Profar comes back up, obviously he's not going to be eligible for the postseason. Hellian's asking this right now. Jerickson Profar is not eligible for postseason play. Anybody involved in PEDs, they're gone. Just like Alvarado with the Phillies, they are not going to be eligible. He's not going to be eligible for postseason play. So realize the Phillies have enough time going to the deadline to go get another piece in their bullpen that they know will be eligible. And what they'll probably do with Alvarado is wear the hell out of him going down the stretch and not worry about keeping him fresh for the playoffs because he's ineligible. Profar's a little different because he's an everyday player. You don't really have that same scenario. But what you will have going into the playoffs is you'll have a platoon system of Verdugo, Eli White, and there may be another piece either added or maybe they get up off a DFA, whatever. But Eli White and Verdugo would end up being the righty-lefty combo in the postseason. And so, but Profar coming in, he will play quite a bit of left field. And you could see him, look, they got 2 weeks to work with him down on the farm before he comes up. There's a possibility, because he has played it in the past, that Jerickson Profar could be your shortstop going down the stretch. At least a couple of games a week to give Nick Allen a break, but also Nick Allen doesn't have the best bat in the world, and you get a better bat at shortstop. If he can play legitimate shortstop, you could see him getting a lot of at-bats that way as well. And then at that point, if you think about it, if the defense is all even, if Profar can play a good defensive shortstop, which he has at one point, you just don't know when you've been that far away from him. He's been in the outfield for the last handful of years. You don't know how it'll affect him. But if you can do that, that's a lot better bat in the order at short, and then as opposed to having Nick Allen at short and batting, you would have either Eli or Verdugo out and left batting, and that's a huge, huge upgrade. And then at that point, you have very little holes in your lineup. So I would love to see that, but I have no idea if he can actually pull it off. Obviously, what you want to do is you want to try him out down, and I'm assuming he'll go to Gwinnett, AAA for 2 weeks, and see if he can do it. And if he can't, he can't. But that would be another option too. It still doesn't answer anything come postseason. So come postseason, you might be sitting there. I still think there's a strong possibility that the Braves go after a shortstop at the trade deadline, and it's not going to be like a household name, earth-shattering, but someone who could come out there and give you legitimate quality at bats at the shortstop position and not lose a whole lot on the defensive side. And we'll go over those options down the road. But as far as the outfield is concerned, they should be pretty, assuming everybody stays healthy going forward. I mean, you're going to have Acuna in right, Harris in center, Profar and left in a month. And then you have Verdugo and Eli and a couple other options as well. I don't want to sell them short, but that would be your main 5 that you could play with. And then come September, you're talking about an expansion. So you know the roster's expanding. And so, right, Robert, we also have the doubleheader with the Marlins. I'm not sure when you chimed in with that, but yeah. So we have 2 doubleheaders already. That's why I say I just want to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and hit the doubleheader, because if you look at the schedule, we're going to be off on Monday. And it means that if you do a doubleheader on Thursday, you can piece it together and attack the weekend against the Red Sox when you're at home, and then you're going to get that off day again and kind of reset everything. But if you look at the starting lineup, the starting matchups tonight, it's Strider versus Suarez. It's advantage Philadelphia right now. Until we see Spencer Strider come out and look more like the Spencer Strider pre-injury, he is still finding his way back. Am I worried about him long term? Absolutely not. I think the guy's a phenomenal pitcher. And he's got the fire because he says what he says in the post games and in the interviews. That's how I know Spencer Strider is going to try his damnedest to bring it every time out. He is a competitor above anything else. He is a huge competitor. And so he's going to get it figured out. But does he have it figured out by tonight? It's a huge question mark. And you got a team who's red hot. But you got to figure advantage Suarez in the Phillies, because Ranger Suarez has been pitching pretty well the last couple of times out. Remember, he's came off the IL a few weeks ago. But Ranger Suarez also always pitches well against Atlanta. That's a problem. And he usually pitches well at home. That's a problem. So you combine the whole thing, it is a big advantage for the Phillies tonight. I'm not saying that the Braves can't win, but I'm saying as a fan, don't go in there with your nose open thinking, oh, well, we're going to win because Strider's going on the mound. This isn't that. This is going to be a hard fight. Tomorrow's game, potentially, A.J. Smith-Shawver versus Zach Wheeler, huge advantage for the Phillies. Wheeler gets bombed and bapped around all around the league. I see it all the time. I'll see box scores come and go. How the hell did he give up 4 runs in 3 innings to the Marlins? How the hell did he do this? How did he do that? But when he faces the Braves, you can pretty much chalk it up. It's going to be 8 innings of maybe 1-run ball, because one of our guys is going to get into one of his pitches and smoke it over the wall, but the rest of them won't get on. He's going to have an easy cruising game where we're hoping like hell we can get him out by the 7th, but he's probably going 8, giving up 1, and A.J. Smith-Shawver is going to be outmatched. Maybe this is the one time we see Wheeler come out there and spit the bit. But he hasn't done it yet with Atlanta. And he goes to a different level. Remember, he came up with the Mets organization. I don't know if he's got a vendetta against the Braves, but he pitches well. You got to expect it again. You just have to. What you hope is that A.J. Smith-Shawver can get you to the 5th or 6th, hanging around in there, and then you can get to the back of that Philadelphia bullpen, which has obviously become a little more thin because of the suspension to Alvarado. And their bullpen wasn't lights out to begin with, but they do have a pretty good back of it. But it's the bridge to get there. And then on the Thursday game, Sale versus Sanchez, we have the advantage. It's not a huge advantage because Christopher Sanchez pitched pretty well, but the Braves have gotten to Sanchez in the past. He typically only goes about 5 or 6 innings. Because he normally, and if the Braves play the cards right, they can do this, he normally gets a high pitch count early in the game. Now, take all that apart and set aside tonight's game and put the other 2 as a possible doubleheader. We don't even know if those are the matchups we're going to get. We don't know if the Braves drop the game tonight, if there's a doubleheader on Wednesday, if Sticker goes, I want Sale against Wheeler because I want to give us a chance to win these last 2 games. You just don't know how it's going to play out. Some managers will flat out say, no, I want the one advantage. Give me Sale versus, we'll say, Sanchez. And I'm not saying Sanchez is a pushover. He's not. I'm saying that Sale, the way he's been pitching recently, is a slight advantage for Atlanta. And you may say, no, I want to keep that matchup because I feel like we can win that game. And if we can win that game, the second game of the series, which would be Wheeler versus Smith-Shawver, we'll just take our chances. The biggest thing the Braves want to do to come into this series, you obviously would love to win the series in Philly. You just don't want to get swept. That's the number one thing. You don't want to get swept. And it is a strong possibility if things go wrong. If Strider comes out tonight and pitches terribly, and Suarez does what he normally does, it could snowball really quickly. Because then you got Smith-Shawver versus Wheeler. Huge advantage there. Next thing down, you're 0-2, and you're staring down the barrel of a sweep with Sanchez on the mound, who's a very good pitcher. And what if the Braves didn't do their job the first two games, which is a very distinct possibility that they didn't work the count, and we didn't get into the back of the bullpen, and we didn't use any of those bullets for them, and then they're able to deploy all of their elite guys in Game 3, you got a problem. And if you get swept in Philly, I can tell you right now, throw the division away, start looking at the wild card, because you're going to be 11 and a half games back. And it's not just that, because remember a few years ago when we were 10 games back of the Mets going into June? But the biggest difference would be you would be somewhere around that number of 9 or 10 back of the Mets. And you've got 2 months to go, and you don't just have to chase one down. You have to chase two of them down. And at that point, you better start looking at the wild card. Speaking of the wild card, good to see you, Nathaniel. Where are we at here on the wild card? We've got... All right, so right now the Mets have the top wild card spot. They took 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. You can't take that away from them. They beat them 2 out of 3. That's not nothing. I know it was in Citi Field. The one thing I will say that made me laugh like hell, I saw 3 or 4 videos this weekend. I think it was on TikTok, and it was either that or YouTube Shorts. Anyways, the Mets fans raising hell with the ESPN broadcast on Sunday night, because I didn't watch it, I didn't listen to it. I had it on mute, but evidently the Sunday night game, all they did, which is what ESPN always does, was just one big 4-hour tongue bath of the LA Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, and saying how great it was to see fans at Citi Field watching the Dodgers, and the Mets fans are going, "They're coming out to see us, you jackasses!" I mean, it was funny. I mean, they were losing their crap, and you would be too if you were set up in that same situation. But the Mets are leading this wild card right now. They actually have a 2-game lead over both San Diego and the Giants. And that's why we needed to win that series against San Diego. Here's the ugly truth. We're trailing the Mets by what is now 7 games. We were trailing the Padres, which is now, 5 games. But remember, there's no way in hell we're going to win a tiebreaker with the Padres. They've taken 6 of 7 from Atlanta. Nor should we win it. If we end up tied with the Padres deserve to go. They kicked our ass. But after that, you're talking about the Mets, the Giants. The Giants are tied with the Padres, so we're 5 behind that. We are 4 behind the St. Louis Cardinals. We are 1 game behind the Diamondbacks and a half game behind the Reds and the Brewers. I'm not really that concerned, honestly, about the Reds, the Brewers, and the Cardinals, because I feel like if we've got the same record as those teams in September, we're not going to make the playoffs anyways. I am more focused on a very good Mets team, a very good Padres team, and a pretty darn good San Francisco Giants team that nobody's talking about. And we have to go see them next weekend, by the way. That's what I'm really concerned about in Arizona as well. Arizona's gotten off to kind of a scuffling start. They've got a good squad. So when I'm scoreboard watching at night, though I want the Cardinals and the Reds and the Brewers to lose, and even the teams behind us, you got Washington a game and a half back. what I'm really focused on right now is what is the score of obviously the Phillies and Mets because they're in our division. But because I'm looking more at the wild card now, and someone was in here a couple of days ago saying it's too early to look at the wild card. It's not. Not when you're this far out. Not when you're freaking 8.5 games out of the division. It's never too early. When I'm scoreboard watching, I'm watching the Mets score, the Padres score, the Giants score, and the Diamondbacks. You can talk me into the Cardinals. I just think that they got off a really hot stretch there. Would they win like 9 in a row and 12 of 13 or 11 of 12, wherever it was? Excuse me. And I just feel like that's what caused their record to be what it is. I feel like that they're going to float back towards the bottom. They just don't have the roster. But kudos to them to have that hot stretch. Their only chance is to hope that Chicago doesn't run away with the NL Central and win the division. But Arizona, the Giants, the Padres, and the Mets. That's what I'm really looking at when I'm scoreboard watching. I still feel like if there's one team that's middling around in nowhere's land that could get hot and turn things around, and there's nothing for me to base this off of other than the fact of what they've done the last few years with smoke and mirrors. It's the Milwaukee Brewers. But right now, I'm not concerned with them. But you got to watch. I'm telling you, you got to start paying attention to these scores out on the West Coast because it is going to affect the Atlanta Braves and their postseason chances come late September. So if you're up after the Braves game and you're looking to watch for stuff, hate to tell you, folks, you're not pulling against the Dodgers in any of those matchups. The Dodgers are going to win their division. That's just plain and simple. You got to hope the Dodgers start getting red hot and putting some sweeps on the Padres and the Giants and the Diamondbacks. That's where we're at. And if you're wondering about our chances to make the wild card, Vegas still likes our chances. I think it's close to a pick 'em right now in the desert. I look at that a lot because it's a very good indication of where the experts think you are. And the other day, it was either minus 115 or plus 115. Regardless, it was right there, almost at a pick 'em. So the experts believe that this team's going to get together. I believe we're going to get it together. But the longer you wait to get it together, you have too steep of a hill to climb, and you can't catch guys in your division. We just happen to play in a very good division. A division that has two very good teams, I should say. And we're a top-heavy division. It's the Braves, it's the Phillies, it's the Mets. And we know that the Marlins are scuffling until further notice, and Washington is still in the middle of a rebuild. But we better start taking advantages of doing stuff in the postseason and getting the postseason, because as these years go on and we get longer in the tooth with our guys that we have right now in our core, and Washington starts getting more proven with if you paid attention to that series we played against Washington, they've got some damn good bats. Some young guys that they're going to be a problem for a long time. And this is the time where the Braves are supposed to shine. Biggest key, I think, is going to be making sure everybody stays healthy. I know you're going to get bumps and bruises here and there, but man, can we get someone to put a damn pad on Austin Riley's wrist? Can we do some little things to ensure that we're going to stay healthy? It looked like Ozzy Albies is starting to come out of his slump a little bit. That's great news. But if you're asking me what I would do tonight, and this isn't what they'll do, but this is what I would do, is I would have Acuna leading off, and my number 2 guy, it would not be Riley. I'm telling you right now, I put Eli White there with the right-handed bat to move him along. And then you go to Ozuna, and then Olsen, and then you go to Riley, backed up by the right-handed bat of Ozzy. I like that much better. Or obviously Smurf's going to get the start tonight because with the lefty on the mound, so maybe you put Smurf right behind Riley. But to me, putting the speed at the top of that lineup with Acuna and White, that can cause some big-time havoc on a defense and put the pressure on them. I'm not saying Eli White's going to go out there and go 4 for 5 with 3 bombs. What I'm saying is if Acuna gets on, he can move him over. He handles the bat well, too, as far as bunting, but he can move him over. He usually gives you a professional at bat. If Acuna doesn't get on, or let's say Acuna smokes one over the wall, you then become another leadoff hitter standing up there against a right-hander. And you get his speed on, and you can really go. The key to this series is going to be pitching, but you got to score some runs. You got to quit making it where the Braves offense, they give up 1 run. Like everyone lost their mind the other day when Dylan Lee gave up the home run. I'm like, for Christ's sake, man, every once in a while a guy's going to come out of the bullpen and he's going to give up a dinger. But it's the idea that you had a 3-1 lead and left Schwellenbach in there when we know that third time through the lineup, he has been getting tagged. He just isn't quite where he was last year yet. And they let him stay in. The next thing you know, we're down 4-3, and that home run given up by Lee. That didn't lose the game. It was all the nonsense before that. They're going to make additions and improvements to the bullpen as the season grows. But we've got to start when it's all said and done. And I know pitching wins you championships, et cetera, et cetera. This team's got to start scoring some damn runs. And they got to quit having so many, I mean a ridiculous amount of 1-run games. What are they at, like 23, I think, right now? It's somewhere in that neighborhood. I might be off by 1. But this is just to the point of absurd. And we have 1-run games. We're not having 1-run games because they're seesaw 8-7 affairs. We have 1-run games because it's 3-2, 2-1. Constantly. And seeing if there's, I don't see any news so far. If anything, normally they do it a couple hours before first pitch. So we'll react to all that at first pitch. If you're listening to this on replay, getting ready for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, 6:45 first pitch. Let me step aside because we got an early start today and don't want to go on and on and on forever. But it's good to see everybody in the chat. I see Hillian and Charles and James and John and Robert. I think I said hi to some others over in TikTok. I see Gigi and Richard and Jose and User with about 45 numbers behind it, which is how TikTok normally goes. Fair enough. Who else do we have here? Angelo and a bunch of folks in here. Chloe. We're here every single beginning of the series, so we'll be back Friday at noon Eastern on Braves Country today. We've scrapped the whole idea of the post-game show. There's a bunch of reasons, but one of the things, man, I'm just mentally cooked by the time I do all this all day long, and then I do a 3 to 4 hour broadcast. The last thing that I have left in the tank. We'll continue to do the quick post games right after the ball game on the feed on YouTube. But as far as doing like a real show, I don't feel like that I'm going to give you very good content. All right, we're going to get out of here. Y'all have a great one, Braves Country, and we will see you tonight, 6:45 first pitch on Braves Country Radio on YouTube. Have a great one.
Playing like this will be the laughing stock of the league.
All right, boys, let's get back to basics. This is a baseball. The object of the game is to keep the baseball within the confines of the...
You're in Braves country.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live as the Braves are on the road. We're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and in right field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. He's got a .333 average with 2 home runs, 3 RBI in just 3 games. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 8 home runs, 28 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .272. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 9 home runs, 24 RBI, a .278 average. Matt Olson, batting cleanup and playing first. 12 home runs, 29 RBI, a .238 average. Ozzie Albies, batting fifth, playing second. 5 home runs, 19 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .239. Sean Murphy, batting sixth and behind home plate, 8 home runs and 18 RBI. He has a .222 average. Book of Eli is batting seventh and in left. 2 home runs, 13 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .274. Michael Harris II will be patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves and batting eighth. 3 home runs, 31 RBI, 9 stolen bases, batting .222. Nick Allen, batting ninth and playing short. He has 12 RBI, 6 stolen bases, a .250 average. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Spencer Strider Day. The quad father is 0-2 with a 5.79 ERA and a 1.39 whip. 9 innings, 8 strikeouts versus 11 hits, 2 walks, and 2 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Ranger Suarez, who's 3-0 with a 3.7 ERA, a 1.19 whip, 24 innings, 22 hits, 23 strikeouts, 7 walks, 1 home run served. Leading off for the Philadelphia Phillies, and at second base, it's Bryson Stott. He's got 4 home runs, 24 RBI, 10 stolen bases, batting .257. Batting second, playing short, Trey Turner. 5 home runs, 23 RBI, 14 stolen bases, batting .310. Batting third, playing first, Bryce Harper. 8 home runs, 33 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .267. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber. 18 home runs, 40 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .257. Batting fifth, playing third, Alec Bohm. 4 home runs, 20 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .272. Castellanos is in right field and batting sixth. He has 4 home runs, 29 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .271. Max Kepler, batting seventh, playing left. 6 home runs, 18 RBI, batting .228. JT Realmuto is batting eighth behind home plate with a .232 average, 5 home runs, 19 RBI, 4 stolen bases. Brandon Marsh is in center field and batting ninth. He has 1 home run, 10 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .225. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Nate Tomlinson. Your first base umpire, Mark Wegner. Second base will be manned by Bruce Dreckman, and down the third base line, it's Shane Livensparger. Game time temperatures here in Philadelphia are expected to be at first pitch around 70 degrees with the wind blowing out around 9 miles an hour. To left center field, your Atlanta Braves are minus 105 on the money line, a virtual pick'em. The over-under, 8.5. Spencer Strider's over-under tonight, 6.5 strikeouts. Ranger Suarez, 5.5. They both pay out at a plus 110. Our pick to click tonight, no one has thoroughly dominated Ranger Suarez with a pretty good sample size, but the only one who's been shown up is Michael Harris, who's just 2 for 20 lifetime with 4 strikeouts, a 100 average. Nick Allen, by the way, has never faced Ranger Suarez. But you've got 4 guys in the lineup who have gone yard on Suarez: Riley, Ozuna, Ozzie, and Smurf. Riley's batting .320. Though that was tempting, we're going to go with the Big Zoo. He tends to step up in big moments in Philadelphia. He's had some big home runs, and against the left-hander, we like his chances to take it off of that short porch over left field. Acuna's been hot, and Riley batting second gives him a fair chance as well, but we'll stick with the Big Zoo. We're going to take your Atlanta Braves to put a few runs on the board after the day off. They should be well rested and ready to rock. We'll take Atlanta to win this one 5-3. And I think Spencer Strider shoves, gives us a quality start. He might even hit that strikeout total. He has got to be 100% motivated coming into today after his last outing. Keys to the game tonight, get Spencer Strider first few innings in the books before his pitch count gets up. He has a tendency to run it high in big games like this, and he's out of the ball game by the 5th inning. We can get a quick inning here and there, he might go 6, even 7. And on the offensive side, got to work that count, got to get Ranger Suarez going in the wrong direction. He has not been off the IL long with just 4 startings in the books. His first start was May 4th. In those starts, he had a terrible first start against Arizona. He had a phenomenal second start in Cleveland. Came back home, had a solid outing against Pittsburgh, and then was lights out in Colorado. So if you put that first start aside, he's been pretty darn good, and he's always pitched well against the Braves. But if we can get 2 or 3 runs and get to the back of that bullpen sooner than later, the Braves can take advantage, and they should come in highly motivated, knowing how big this series is. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the country club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves country.
All right, we're going to do this one fairly quick. First pitch just a couple of minutes away. Having an issue here with one of my microphones, but that's okay. We'll switch over. Not really sure what happened there. All right. Good to see you, Robert, Brian, B.A. Baracus, Nathaniel Brooks, my man, King James Hagan, Uncle Charlie Fritz, Joyce Robledo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. I know it's Joyce from Mexico. Helion, good to see you. Go, Kay, Mark, Ricky Ricardo, Jacob, Charlie Elrod, I'm assuming with this being the Phillies series, Edward Spry's in here somewhere. John. There's Edward Spry. See if we have anybody else. Hillbilly.
This is a reminder. Disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan.
Darryl Little.
And refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Darryl and his other brother, Darryl. See if I've missed anybody. Nate the Great. Gary the Real McCoy. Timmy. Evan, good to see you. We're just about set. Is anybody else we missed? Just jump back in. I've got to scroll to the bottom. Avery, good to see you. As your Atlanta Braves are going to be wearing their road gray pants and blue tops with Atlanta across the chest in red, outlined in white. Tomahawk the same underneath. Numerals on the back the same. And the names on the back in white. Blue ball caps, dark navy blue with the white A representing the city of Atlanta. Phillies are in their home red pinstripes. White jersey with red pinstripes. Phillies across the chest in red ball cap, and the white P representing the city of Philadelphia. And Ranger Suarez has finished up his last warm-up pitches. We'll see if we can get this screen going, see if it cooperates with us. Ronald Acuna Jr. digs in, and yes, sir! It is baseball time at Braves country. First pitch on the way is a sinker. Down and away, it's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Infield is back into the left. The 1-0. Inside, 88, 2-0. Your home plate umpire today is Nate Tomlinson. We have not seen him this year, so this will be an experience. We'll see how he does. Wegner's tomorrow. Dreckman is on Thursday. The 2-0 down the way, ball 3-3-0. So a 3-0 to Acuna. And once again, we talked about it in the pregame show, but there's a very good chance tomorrow the game is getting rained out, and we may have a doubleheader on Thursday. If so, we will be here for both. The 3-0 to Acuna, right there at the knees, taken all the way. 3-1. Acuna trying to work his way aboard. I think that was wishful thinking. That was absolutely a strike. Just meant he was taken all the way. The 3-1. Swing, pounds it down the third base line, but foul. It's a full count. Full count. Acuna looks like he may have broken his bat, so he's going to go get another one. Braves nothing, Phillies nothing. We're just getting started here. Good to see you, Herman. And Colby covers the payoff pitch. Swing! That ball slapped down the right field line. Out of play towards the dugout. Spencer Strider on the bump today. He'll be going for the Braves, and he looks laser focused. The payoff pitch to Acuna. Inside, caught, looking, strike three. Backwards K. That just kissed the inner edge. One away. That was a buckler there. What you'll see from Suarez as we line up your defense for you around the horn for the Philadelphia Phillies. From third to first, it's Bohm, Trey Turner, Stott, and Harper. JT Realmuto behind the plate. Kepler in left, March in center, and Castellanos in right. As Austin Riley swings at the first pitch he sees, and he hammers that down the third base line, but just foul. It's 0-1. What you'll see from Ranger Suarez is a six-pitch mix. He leans on the change and four-seamer and sinker pretty evenly. The three pitches at 65% between the three. The curve at 16 and the cut at 15. The 0-1. Bending curveball down the way, 1-0. He does have a slider, but it really is just a show-me pitch. He uses it just 2% of the time. The 1-1. Swing and a miss at the changeup. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. Standing on deck is Ozuna today with the left-hander on the mound. The 1-2. Caught, looking, strike three. Two backwards Ks to start for the Braves. And they don't look like that they are ready to roll yet here. On a 6:45 first pitch in Philadelphia. So two caught lookings. Braves come into play today, 8.5 behind the Phillies, 7 behind the Mets. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is off the plate wide. It's 1-0. The big number you got to start paying attention to is the wild card. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. They are 5 games behind San Diego and San Francisco for the final spots in the wild card. 4 behind St. Louis, 1 behind Arizona, and a half game behind Milwaukee and Cincinnati. The 2-0. Outside wide, 3-0. 3-0 count, just like the at-bat against Acuna, running it to 3-0. This will be his 15th pitch of the inning. Suarez comes set, swing, rifled up the middle, and that's a base hit for the Big Bear. The Big Zoo gets things going here in the top of the first inning. Good hard hit ball. Smashed over the second base bag. That'll bring Matt Olson to the plate, who's been hitting the ball well. And if you saw the stat earlier, is the first pitch on the way. 87-mile-an-hour cutter on the edge. It's 0-1. Matt Olson has absolutely raked in Philadelphia his entire career. Even back in his days in Oakland, the 0-1, swung on, fouled back out of play. It's 0-2. (0-2) count. Kicks and fires, swing, slaps a slider, foul and out of play. We'll do it again. When he does use that slider, which he uses just 2% of the time, it is typically 2 left-handers. It's kind of a slow slider, doesn't have a ton of break, and he doesn't want to throw it into a righty. The 0-2, they set up out wide again. Sinker misses 1-2. 1-2 count. Lefty, runner at first. The 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. So he runs back the count even now. He is at 20 pitches, which that is a good sign there. You want to get his pitch count up and get him out of the game, especially in this early series opener. The 2-2 to Olson. Pitch on the way. Slider down the way, 3-2. Really trying to get him to chase that slider. Matt Olson, if you missed the stat, has 15 homers in 30 games at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. 14-26 in regular season games. The payoff pitch, swing, slaps it over to third. Good play by Bohm. He's got it, and he'll flip it over to first, and that'll end the inning. Braves get one on, but can't do anything with it. But they did run the pitch count up. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
For nothing, it's 9:30 in the morning. You're peeling potatoes?
I know what time it is.
What are you doing?
You got your uncles coming in later. You want to eat later on today? This generation. I'm done. What are you going to do? Call DoorDash when you have company? DoorDash? Send me some potatoes?
Okay, answer this question 100% honest.
Okay.
Okay? If I died, would you get remarried?
No, probably not.
What, you don't like being married?
I mean, yeah, obviously I do.
So then you would.
Yeah, I guess. Yes, I'll get remarried.
Would you guys stay in this house?
Yeah, it's a new house. Why not?
Would she drive my car?
Yeah, it's a new car.
Would you sleep in our bed?
Yes.
Would she wear my jewelry?
No, she probably have her own jewelry.
Would you replace all the photos of me in the house with her?
Probably. It's probably the right thing to do.
Are you gonna take her golfing?
Yeah, golfing's always fun.
Is she gonna use my golf clubs?
No, she's left-handed.
Armchair.
I'm going to go, and I guess to hone it in, I was going to say chemicals, but cleaning supplies.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
You can go cheap on them. You can buy store brand. Doesn't clean to your satisfaction. Just add a little more to it.
What you and I have told the American public today is there's certain things that you don't want to go cheap on, but if it comes down to your health or your cleanliness, you're fine with.
Armchair.
Every magnate in the country is indebted to this man, Harry Wright, for the establishment of baseball as a business, and every patron for furnishing him with a systematic recreation. Every player is indebted to him for inaugurating an occupation by which he gains a livelihood, and the country at large for adding one more industry to furnish employment, sporting life.
Welcome back. Bryson Stott will lead it off. Second baseman. The Philadelphia Phillies to face Spencer Strider. He hits much higher in the lineup when there is a righty on the hill, especially a hard thrower like Spencer. Righty lefty to get us started. The first pitch on the way to Stott is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer edge. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Stott batting .257 on the year with 4 home runs, 24 RBI. Pitch on the way. Fastball right down the pipe. 1-1. Bryson Stott lifetime is 6 for 28 versus Strider. 3 RBI, 8 strikeouts, a .214 average. The 1-1. Fastball right there on the outer edge. It's 1-2. Struck out 8 times in those 28 at-bats. On deck is Trey Turner. In the hole, Bryce Harper. The 1-2 from Strider. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider from Strider. Outer edge. 1 away. I think that might have threw him off a little bit. He was looking for something a little harder and in and just kind of poked at it. Might have chased when it was really close to the edge. Looking at the StatCast, it looked like it was right there. Trey Turner, the batter, and man, does he wear out Braves pitching. First pitch on the way. It's a four-seamer. Right down the pipe, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. He does not do well against Strider so far in his career. 3 for 23. Does have a home run and 2 strikeouts, so he puts the ball in play. The 0-1. Swung on and fouled away. It's 0-2. I had to do a double take when I saw that he was 3 for 23 against Strider, but yet he's only has 2 strikeouts considering the strikeout pitcher that Spencer Strider is. That is an amazing stat. He put the ball in play that much without a hit. The 0-2, swing, lifts it high into center field. Harris misplays it, slams on the brakes, comes a running, and he'll make the catch. Good adjustment by Michael Harris II for a little bit of a nerve-wracking out number 2. That'll bring Bryce Harper to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. Harper 6 for 20 lifetime versus Strider. First pitch swinging. Pops it down, foul down the left field line. Now to play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Whoa, hit him in the arm. That's not what you want. Four-seam fastball got Harper in the arm. Definitely not intentional, no matter what Philly fans may think. He is grabbing his arm. I don't know. It's weird. He's grabbing his arm, but it looked like at first, and I have to see a replay, it looked like he got hit in the shoulder. But maybe it hit him in a funny place in the shoulder. Oh, no, it did get him right in the elbow. Right in the elbow. If he stays put, and I know that's a lot easier said than done when 95's coming at you. it's going to hit him in the upper arm. It's going to be a lot less painful. Harper, man, I'll tell you what, we joke and kid around a lot, but I don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I darn sure don't want to see one of the best players get hurt. That's not good for the game of baseball. He's coming out of the game. What this could start, you know what this could start. This could start them headhunting one of ours. So Acuna better have his head on a swivel. That was not intentional at all. They were set up on the outer edge. And he just lost all control of the ball and hit him in the top of the elbow. Just above the elbow. And they're taking him out, regardless if it's going to be for precautionary reasons. But it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So you don't know what the extent of that injury is going to be. Hoping for a speedy recovery. So Harper out of the game. The hit by pitch, if you're just joining us, and the crowd's silent, and the ones that aren't silent are booing. You can imagine things go through your head as a Phillies fan, but I'm telling you right now, there's no intent there. But in the old school rules of baseball, that doesn't really matter. Because in the old school rules of baseball, you're supposed to take an eye for an eye. You at least got to hit a guy. The Braves don't tend to play on that level, but most teams do. Kyle Schwarber steps in. He's 5 for 28 lifetime versus Strider. First pitch on the way is a slider off the edge. It's 1-0. He does have a home run and an RBI and 14 strikeouts versus Strider. A 179 batting average. On deck is Alec Bohm. 2 out, 1 on. The 1-0 swing pops it up high into left field. The Book of Eli will settle underneath it, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves get out of the jam. Phillies lose Bryce Harper. We'll see if the retaliation comes this inning or when Acuna comes to the plate.
What was your unsupervised childhood activity that definitely should have killed you?
I used to fart in the pool and try to go underwater and sniff it.
Cause he's the armchair quarterback, the all-American man.
My number 3 that I can't go cheap on, cereal.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of kinds that you can do, but if you're talking about, like, don't ever try to do the generic Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like soggy before you even pour the milk on it.
It's before you even open the bag. It's soggy. You're like, how'd that happen? It came with its own liquid.
Armchair.
I love you, Rihanna.
I don't know you love me. You don't love nobody. You love your own self. Come on, love you. And sorry. You don't tell nobody you sorry.
Hey, Braves country, I'm Mac McGee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Baseball has fallen. Yes, the national game has become degraded. At certain match games, large amounts of money changed hands among the spectatorate. A noted New York club is said to have sold the results of a match. Barked chins and broken fingers may be easily mended, but a disfigured reputation may never be entirely repaired. Once more, abandon the bat, boys, if you cannot keep the game pure.
Welcome back. So if you're just joining us, Bryce Harper is out of the game, the hit by pitch in the elbow. And we'll just have to wait and see if there's any retaliation from Philadelphia's end. Normally, if you're going to do it, you do it pretty quickly. But they could wait till they go back to the top of the order. Ozzie Albies, the batter. First pitch on the way. Swing. Fouls the sinker down and off the plate. It's 0-1. I'm sure Ozzie was like, man, do I really have to be the guy that goes up there? I'm the littlest dude on the team, the 0-1. Swing and a miss to the changeup. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Ozzie batting .351 in his last 10 games. Pitch on the way, outside wide, 1-2. Biggest thing with Ozzie in his last 10 games is he's been getting extra bases. Hasn't gone yard, but he's been getting doubles, and that's been the biggest key, turning on those numbers. The 1-2, up top, did he go around? They check down the line. First base umpire, Mark Wegner, says no dice, 2-2. Braves one of the early games here. We'll hit the out-of-town scoreboard here in a little bit, but not a whole lot of action going on. The 2-2 inside, 3-2. If you're wondering, the umpires will probably wait to see if Philadelphia beams one of the Braves players as the payoff pitch is fouled back, out of play, before they would think about putting a warning to the dugouts. As of right now, it's just normal play as usual. The payoff pitch, they set up inside. Hop, high, outside, ball 4. So Ozzie Smith heads on down. Ozzie Albies, and I wish it was Ozzie Smith. Ozzie Albies heads on down to first, and the Braves get something going here in the top of the second inning.
I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, and nobody beats me.
One on, nobody out, and Sean Murphy, the batter. First pitch swinging. That ball's roasted up the middle. Backhanded by Stott. He flips it over to the shortstop, Turner, after the bobble. Turner's not going to have enough time to get the slow-footed Murphy as he was hustling down the line. And Sean is on with one out.
Smurf is me. I must call an emergency meeting.
Don't try to fool me.
We've been waiting to play that Smurf for a few days now. First pitch on the way to Eli is just off the edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup, the 0-1. We've got a different one for home run as well. The 0-1. Swing, fouls it back. It's 0-2. Sean Murphy stands at first with one out. Eli White at the plate. Harris stands on deck. The 0-2 to Eli. Caught looking, strike 3. That is 3 backwards Ks by the Atlanta Braves just this first time through the order. I don't remember this many backwards Ks. And Tim Hyer was supposed to change some things with the Braves offense. This isn't the change that we wanted to see. Harris will come to the plate. He is dreadful versus Suarez in his career, 2 for 20 lifetime. First pitch on the way, swing, chops it over to second. You can tell he doesn't want to be in the box. That'll be an easy 4-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. Braves fail to get the leadoff runner across. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Braves, wait a minute. Do you think you can get me a tape of the show?
What on earth for?
Well, how often do you get to hear your son on the radio?
I'm on the radio every day!
Cause he's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks.
It could be like a government conspiracy, but it also could be something like, Bigfoot. What's your number one?
We never went to the moon. I don't believe it. I think it's a hoax.
All right.
They filmed it in a studio. Why didn't we ever go back?
All right, the crazies is coming out in us today. I'll see that and I'll raise you Area 51. I think there's little Martians and everything running around out there, and I think we're hiding something. We're hiding something out there. There's too many accounts of too many things that go wrong. And don't keep on telling me that it was a balloon that went by. Get me? The balloons aren't that big, okay? They don't go by that often. It's a little strange we haven't seen one in the last 30 years since technology's gotten better. There's been too many times where they've interviewed guys who were out there and they say, when they ask them, can you say what you've seen? And he goes, no, I'm sworn to secrecy. Well, why are you sworn to secrecy if nothing happened out there? Something went down.
Armchair.
I would put a committee together, get some coaches, get some players, and let's try to work this thing out. We can't ask these politicians nothing. Those people are awful people. They're all crooks.
On February 2nd, 1876, at Manhattan's Grand Central Hotel, a group of club owners, eager to tighten their control of the game, restore its respectability, and most of all to ensure greater profits, started a new association. They called it the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs.
Welcome back. Spencer Strider will go back to work. Had a fairly clean inning outside of the hit by pitch on Bryce Harper. 1 inning, 1 strikeout. No hits allowed. No walks, but he did have the hit by pitch. Alec Bohm comes to the plate, first pitch on the way. Slider down and away, it's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Swing, chops it foul, 1-1. Alec Bohm batting .272 on the year, 4 home runs, 20 RBI, .692 OPS, but he's really heated up over the last 3 weeks. You got to be aware of him. Bohm, lifetime versus Spencer Strider, is 5 for 27. The 1-1 down and away, 2-1. He does have a home run. He's got 12 strikeouts and a 185 average. Castellanos stands on deck. The 2-1 chops it over towards third, but plenty foul. A little roll away. 2-2. Kepler is in the hole. So you have the 5, 6, and 7 batters due up in this inning. The 2-2 from Strider. 96 inside, misses, full count. Strider with a fairly quick inning in the first, so his pitch count fairly low to start off the second, but you don't want to walk the leadoff batter, the payoff pitch. Nowhere near the zone, ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. 1 on and nobody out. That'll bring Castellanos, who has been a Braves killer over the years. Whether he's been hot or cold coming into a series, seems like he always gets big hits against Atlanta. Castellanos is 5 for 25 lifetime against Strider. 2 home runs, 3 RBI, 10 strikeouts, and a 200 clip. First pitch on the way, 96 at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 95 at the knees. 0-2. Castellanos didn't like the call. I can't say I blame him. It looked a little low. Oh, 2 count. Pitch on the way. Slider down and away, 1-2. The 1-2. Smurf sets up on the outer edge pitch. Slider nowhere near the zone 2-2. That slider's been kind of flat. He got the swing and the miss in the first inning by Stott on that slider. But all in all, it's been kind of flat. 2-2 count. Swing, chops it foul, do it again. If you remember his last outing, he fell in love with that slider and it was getting pounded. If he continues to go to that well again, expect the same from these Philadelphia hitters. The 2-2. Fastball caught, looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. One away. Good pitch on the outer edge by Spencer Strider. That's what you like to see. Aggressiveness. Challenge the batter. You got 96 and you can paint the knees on the outer edge. That's the hardest pitch to hit in baseball. Kepler comes to the plate. He has seen Strider just 2 times in his career, 0 for 2. No strikeouts. First pitch, slider down and in. It's 1-0. Kepler's got one of those types of swings that if he hangs that slider in, that's going to be right in his wheelhouse. The 1-0. Down and away. Misses. 2-0. That's the best slider he's thrown all night. It was really more, it was almost like a change. Didn't quite have that same dip. I think that actually might have been his change. They called it a slider, but 2-0, ripped into left field, going, off the wall. It's taking Acuna forever to get to it as it comes off the wall very weirdly, and Bohm comes around to score. And like I said, Max Kepler, right in his wheelhouse. It's 1-0. That ball was stuck up against that weird wall that they have out there that has the chain link fence. They've got chain link fence and then they've got brick, and it's scattered all throughout that right field area. But they've put a fence up recently for the entire area. So when that ball hits the wall, you have to be aggressive because it's not going to come off like it would off a typical Major League Baseball wall. And that cost the Braves a run. First pitch on the way to Real Muto's in the dirt. It's 1-0. It took a weird bounce too. It's a very loose fence out there, so when the ball hits that gate, unless it's like drilled evenly, it's going to kind of dump in almost like a divot shot in golf. The 1-0, 96 misses. 2-0. So 2-0 count. Real Muto, 2 for 15 lifetime versus Strider. 9 strikeouts. Pitch. Not getting that bottom call. 3-0. What do you do here? Do you try to challenge Real Muto, or do you just send him on to first base, setting up the double play with Brandon Marsh coming to the plate? Runner at second. 1 out. Braves already down a run. The 3-0. Swing, slaps it to right. Caught by Acuna. Turns, fires it back into the infield. This is going to be a close play. Did they get him? Oh, the ball got away, and Riley did a great job of deking the runner. He deked the cameraman as well. Because Kepler is standing at third, but had he not deked him, that throw from Acuna popped out of the glove of Riley, and the runner didn't see it. In fact, he immediately asked for timeout because he was thinking the play was over. And the third base coach, Dusty Wathan, was trying to point for Kepler to go. By the time he realized it, they'd gotten the hold of the ball. It bounced far away. If he jumps up and goes, there's no way he doesn't score. So a big break there by the Braves, and a good job by Riley. A lot of third basemen, when that happens, they're going to jump up and go try and chase it. Instead, for those of y'all listening on radio, he applied the tag to the runner's arm and held it there like he was trying to get the call, and that's why Kepler stayed where he was. Spencer Strider is at 30 pitches now, 19 in this inning. And Brandon Marsh, Captain Caveman, comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Fastball nowhere near the zone. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Comes set. Brings it. 94 at the knees. 1-1. Same two teams are expected to play tomorrow night at 6:45, but 99% chance, just like Strider's jersey number, we're going to get a rain out. The 1-1. 94 up top. There you go. They checked down the line. He did not. Third base umpire Livin Sparker says no dice. 2-1. Infield is back into the right. Braves trail it 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning. 2-1 from Strider. Good Lord, nowhere near the zone. 3-1. So a 3-1 count. I don't know if he's gun shy because he hit Harper and he's inside his head now, but he is having a hard time throwing that inside fastball. The 3-1 count. Right there at the knees. Good slider. 3-2. That and the one that just missed for a ball a couple of batters ago, those are the two best I've seen so far. Has a sharp snap to it. The 3-2. Swing. Lifts it foul down the line. We'll do it again. So a full count once again to Marsh. Strider, 25 pitches in this inning, 36 so far. Very long second inning here for Strider. The payoff pitch. Foils that one. Slaps a four-seam fastball. Fouling out of play. We'll do it again. Full count. Brings it. Caught, looking strike three. 96 on the inner paint. And Marsh can't believe it. I can't believe he didn't swing. We'll be back in a flash.
Someone calls you fat. Just ignore them. You're bigger than that.
Hey, Braves Country. I'm Mac McGee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Your favorite shot?
Favorite shot? I don't know. I had it last night. Lots of them. I think it's called the Picklehead, where it's a shot of Jameson with a little bit of pickle juice chaser, and it's the most wonderful and terrible thing I've ever had in my drinking life. Because once you take the shot, and then you take the pickle juice, there's no burn. There's absolutely no burn, right? And then you're like, well, shoot, yeah, it's just Kool-Aid at that point. It can lead to very bad things. Trust me.
Armchair.
It is ridiculous to pay ball players $2,000 a year, especially when the $800 boys often do just as well.
William A. Hulbert, a ruthless coal magnate who owned the Chicago White Stockings, became the National League's president. He immediately took steps to revive the reputation of the professional game. Players were forbidden to drink on the field or off. No beer was to be served on the grounds, and no games were to be played on Sunday. Power was to be invested in the owners, not the players.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Braves and Phillies. Atlanta trails this 1-0. We go to the third. They had a celebrity throw out the first pitch for Philadelphia today, but I do not recognize who that is. First pitch on the way is a strike to Nick Allen versus Suarez. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top. 0-2. Nick Allen has never seen Ranger Suarez, the only one in the Braves lineup tonight. The 0-2 swing. That ball slapped over towards second. It's going to be a close play because Stott bobbled it, but he will recover and fire it to first. 4-3 put out. One down. One away, and that'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. He is 4 for 20 lifetime versus Suarez with 2 strikeouts, 2 RBI. Just a 200 average. First pitch on the way to Ronnie is 89 inside cutter. 0-1. The 0-1. Up high, misses. 1-1. Suarez had a little bit of a taxing first inning, but settled down in the second, so he's only at 39 pitches. He's okay on that front so far. 1-1 to Acuna. Swing, pops it up. High into center field. Not very deep, well before the warning track. Making the catch is Marsh for out number 2. Two down, and that'll bring Austin Riley, who's 8 for 26 lifetime versus Suarez. 2 home runs, 2 RBI, 7 strikeouts. Hitting .315 lifetime versus Suarez. He'll be looking to get into one here. First pitch on the way. Swing. Slices it towards center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. First base hit for your Atlanta Braves here in the top of the third inning.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Good piece of hitting there by Riley inside out of that swing. Was able to get it down in front of the racing Marsh, trying to cut it off. First pitch on the way to Zoo. He swings at the first pitch. Cutter just a bit underneath it, slaps it back foul. It's 0-1. We'll put the action cam on so we get any kind of play at the plate or at the bag. The 0-1 right there at the knees. 0-2. 0-2 count. Marcel, speaking of backwards case, he has had a problem with that the last month. So hopefully he's ready to swing if anything near the zone. The 0-2. Outside wide, changeup, 1-2. Marcel sitting on 9 home runs. The 1-2. Swing. Slices it down the right field line on the four-seam fastball. Braves 0, Philly 1. Top of the third inning. 2 outs. The 1-2. JT sets up inside. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball got him. That'll end the inning. At least he swung the bat. We'll be back in a flash. We head to the bottom of the third. Down 1-0.
My favorite source of unnecessary stress is wanting to clean out my closet, but also knowing that 3 years from now, I may want to wear that shirt that has never actually fit.
Relax. Kids swallow quarters all the time.
Really?
Sure. If she craps out 2 dimes and a nickel, then you can start worrying, huh?
This is my most frustrating time of year as a professor at a gigantic state university. I have kids come to my Zoom office hours and they're wondering why they're failing. You're failing because you never came to class. That's all I talked about for the first couple of weeks. What the are you doing not coming to class and somehow you think you're going to pass? And you want a break and extra credit? No. No, the main thing about college is going to class. So if you failed, you can recover. You can, I promise. Next semester. But get your head out of your ass. Go to class. Sit up front. Or admit maybe college isn't for you. And I'm not saying academically. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just saying, hey, if there's something else you want to be doing, go do it.
So, okay, so hold on a second. You're telling me that if Mike Schmidt were to walk in here right now, you'd say, I'm sorry, we're all out. We're sold out, Mike?
Who is Mike Schmidt?
Who's Mike Schmidt?
Bro, have some respect here, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know who Mike Schmidt is.
Come on, you don't know who Mike Schmidt is? He's only maybe the greatest third baseman in history and a legend in Philadelphia for all time.
When you're the greatest player that's ever played in an organization, name some of them. Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, jeez, Mike Schmidt, come on.
There's nothing Mike couldn't do on a baseball field. If you needed a homer, he got it. If you needed a hit, he got it. If you needed a play, he got it.
548 home runs and almost 1,600 RBIs. And the defense, we'd see plays that he made at third base. It was magical.
Welcome back. Spencer Strider goes back to work after a rough inning number 2. Stott, top of the lineup, leads him off. First pitch on the way. He's a slider. Off the plate, it's 1-0. Kicks and fires, 95. Just misses, 2-0. 2-0 count. Having some control issues here the last couple innings. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 95 inside. 2-1. Philly 1, Atlanta nothing. Bottom of the third just getting going here in Philadelphia. The 2-1 pitch. 94 just misses. 3-1. Strider does have 3 strikeouts, but 1 walk, an earned run, and a base hit. Scalded off the right field wall. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 94. 3-2. I mean, honestly, I don't know why he's throwing Stott anything else. Those fastballs high in the zone seem to be giving him a hard time, which is typical for a left-hander. The payoff pitch. Swing! Fouls it away. Most left-handers, if you can get a good hard fastball out and away, that's not their wheelhouse. They're looking for something down and in. Full count. Number 45 from Strider. He brings it. Swing, fouls that one back. Got a piece of it, was well behind it once again. A good placing by Strider. The payoff pitch one more time. Strider brings it. Swing. Sliced it away. He's just kind of peppering it now. Still isn't catching up with it. You'd think if you keep going to that well, eventually you're going to get a pop-up in fair territory, or even foul as long as it's in play. The payoff pitch. Another one. We'll do it again. Or maybe just cut out the middleman and hit him too. So a full count. Righty, lefty, here comes the pitch. Another one swatted away. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. The last 5 have all been fastballs. Pitch, high and inside, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. And the Phillies with the leadoff walk to start the 3rd inning. What was worse about it is that it took him that many pitches to offer the walk-up. Double play would be key here, but you got speed all over the base paths. Trey Turner, the batter, righty-righty matchup. He'll turn and flip it over to first, keep Stock close by. Turner batting .308, 5 homers, 23 RBI. Strider, swing, pops it up. High in the sky, will it stay in play? Looks like it will. Riley calling off Smurf, he'll make the catch. One away. Big out number 1 there, especially because we got it with 1 pitch. You gotta love that. If you're a Strider, having to spend double digits on the first batter, you get 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring Sosa to the plate. He's in for the injured Bryce Harper, who's hit in the elbow. And it looks like that they came back with the negative on the x-ray, so that's good news for Philadelphia. First pitch on the way is a slider right inside. It's 0-1. They're calling it a right arm contusion. The 0-1, down and in, 1-1. So basically a bone bruise. Now, whether or not that puts him on the IL or not, something different, but at least it's not broken. 1-1. Turns and flips it over to first to keep the runner close by. Saw that Mike Trout was running the bases today. He had a contusion on his right knee that's kept him out since the beginning of May. 1-1's fouled away. 1-2. One-two count. Kicks and fires. Slider in the dirt, 2-2. Runner at first, 1 out. Infield is back into the left. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here comes a throw down to second. And Stott's going to just beat the throw. But there are 2 away with Spencer Strider's 4th strikeout of the game. That was a very difficult throw for Murphy to make on that slider down and away, but you did get the strikeout. So you'll take that trade off, getting down to 2 outs now here in the inning. Kyle Schwarber stands at the plate. Flew out his first time up. First pitch, 94 at the knees. It's 0-1. So y'all talking about Spencer's velocity. He's already said that he's been told not to give it his all right now. So the fact that he's throwing 96 is actually pretty impressive. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. It's going to take him a while to get back because you got to get your legs underneath. You got to get the arm strength built up. And they just don't want him just unloading in his first few starts. I'd say by around July, August, you'll see him up around the upper 90s. Slider in the dirt, 1-2. Remember, this is also very experimental surgery. Not a lot of guys have had it, and I think he was the first big name to have it. He was similar to a Tommy John, but as opposed to taking a tendon out of your leg and putting it in your elbow, they put a brace there, the 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. That's why he was able to come back within 12 months. Typically, if you have your typical Tommy John, we probably wouldn't even see him this year. You'd probably hear about him rehabbing after the All-Star break, that kind of thing, and just probably wouldn't see him until 2026. The 2-2 count. In the dirt, 3-2. Trying to get him to chase that changeup, but to no avail. Standing on deck is Bohm. Strider sitting at 60 pitches already. We talked about that as a key to the game. His pitch count getting high early in the game. He does it almost every time, especially against these big-time opponents. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got the 5th strikeout of the game, but, man, it has paid a toll on that arm. 61 pitches. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I haven't had sex in so long, I'm afraid I'll forget how to moan. What if I f*** up and I bark?
You know, it seems like one minute you're young and free, and the next minute you're just excited that your Walmart delivery of groceries didn't have any substitutions or out-of-stock items.
Hi, ladies. How you doing? I want to kill you. Oh, yeah. Take a number, honey.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the solution to my anxiety is not compulsively drinking coffee and scrolling my phone for 5 hours a day, but I'm going to keep trying just in case.
Somebody's so a little touchy about losing last year's color war. No. She was on Team Blue, or as I like to refer to them as Team Blueser, and I was on white.
That's good.
And if you ain't white, you ain't right.
Have you learned nothing?
He's regarded as the best third baseman in Major League Baseball history. I wish I played defense like him. I wish I had power like him.
Long drive to left field. He buried it. He buried it.
Mike Schmidt was a star.
This is the greatest player in the history of the franchise.
Number 48 for Schmidt.
Mike would be on that Mount Rushmore of sports icons in Philadelphia.
Very few all-time greats. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana. These all-time greats didn't get to play their entire career in one city. And if you have a guy that great and he plays his entire career in one city, it should be amazing.
But it wasn't always. Instead, the story of Michael Jack Schmidt is in fact a complicated tale. A saga of a superstar and a city may be best encapsulated by the words of the man himself, uttered along the way.
Philadelphia is the only city where you can experience the thrill of victory one night and the agony of reading about it the next day.
Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the country club today. Top of 4 we go, trailing by 1. Matt Olson will lead us off. First pitch on the way is 90 inside by Suarez. Sinker misses high and in. It's 1-0. Olson grounded out to third his first time up. The 1-0. Right down the pipe for a strike. Sinker. About belt high. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Banding curveball just misses in, 2-1. They are making such a big deal on the television cast because the dopey sideline reporter pointed out that in the last month or so, Olson, when he gets the count in his favor, he's hit really well, the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. He was comparing it to when he was behind. And I'm looking at this thinking, that's like every player who's ever put on a pair of spikes. If you get behind in a count, your batting average goes to hell in a handbasket because you're just trying to cover the plate. If you get it in your favor, you can sit dead red. The 2-2 to Olsen. Swing! That ball's hammered down the right field line. And so they're parroting it, and it's kind of funny because it's like a bunch of folks who I know the game, but they're acting like that they don't. The 2-2 count. Suarez at just 51 pitches, so he's doing well on that front. The pitch down and away, 3-2. You'd love to see a long inning here, even if you don't do a lot of damage on the scoreboard. Really work that pitch count up. We had him going in the right direction in the first, but since then, he's had some pretty quick outings. The payoff pitch to Olsen. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So on a 3-2 count, that changeup was damn near perfect. Dropped it on the outer part of the zone. If he takes it, it would have been a strike. And it was just perfectly placed. One away. You're sitting there looking for the hard stuff, and he just drops that in at your knee. That is a tough pitch. Ozzie Albies the batter, first pitch swinging, and that ball's going to get rattled off the glove of the third baseman Bohm, and Ozzie Albies is on with the base hit. There we go.
I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, and nobody beats me.
When things are going well, as they are for Ozzie right now, you get those seeing eye singles. That goes off the glove of Sosa. He is at third. They put Bohm at first after the injury to Harper. And he's had defensive issues over there, so maybe we can take advantage. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Sean Murphy, your batter. That was going to be a tough play regardless, so I'm not putting that on Sosa. It was a hard hit ball to kind of an in-between hop. I'd say your better third basemen are probably going to make that play, but that wasn't an easy play. The 0-1 inside, 1-1. They're giving Ozzie an error, reaching on an error, so they're giving error to Sosa. That might have been a little home cooking, but I couldn't argue it either way. Infield is back into the left. There's a huge hole on the right side. Pitch, high and out of the zone, 2-1. Second time through the order. Braves scoreless. Philly 1 here in the fourth inning. The 2-1. Rocks and fires. Swing, fouls it back. 2-2. The 2-2 count. Inside, just misses. If home plate umpire Nate Tomlinson had any bit of a wide zone, that's going to be a backwards K. It was off the plate, but not by much. So you got a payoff pitch. Ozzie at first, 1 out. Brings it. Swing, chops it down the line, foul. Curveball, trying to get him to bang that into the ground. Smurf, as we know, is a double play candidate with his lack of speed. You wonder if Ozzie may take off, expecting something in the dirt or a bender. He could get the second no matter what Smurf does. The payoff pitch. Swing, pops it back. Foul. 92 miles an hour. We'll do it again. Full count. Suarez at 61 now. Smurf steps in, back into the box. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chased the changeup about 2 or 3 inches off the plate, 2 down. That would have been a perfect pitch for Ozzie to go. Not easy to steal on JT Realmuto, but you got to pick your places there. And you expect an off-speed pitch like that. 2 down. And that'll bring Eli White to the plate. Suarez with 8 strikeouts, by the way. First pitch on the way. Cutter inside. 1-0. 1-0. Lefty righty. Brings it. Swing, lifts it. Easy pop fly. Can of corn to short, and that'll end the inning. Well, we got one on. Couldn't do a thing with it. That's the same old song. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Do you see how that's incredibly offensive?
Yes, I do. That's why I said it.
Just because I'm not doing anything doesn't mean I'm not busy. Doing nothing is a very thought out, planned activity for me. So
if we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. Eventually, we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. The martyrs of history were not fools, and our honored dead didn't die in vain.
Hi, y'all. It's time for Appalachian Word of the Day. The word of the day is marinara. How fast do you think that car get up to? About 120 marinara?
I love my wife to death, but don't ask questions you don't want answers to. She asked me this morning if I would take a bullet for her. Would I take a bullet for you? Yes, but we both know that you are 100% the reason we're getting shot at in the first place.
Philly was known as a great sports town if you performed. If you didn't perform, they would boo you in a minute.
Sports fans in other cities enjoy sports. Sports fans in Philadelphia derive their life's joy from the outcome of games from their teams.
If you're associated with the Philadelphia media or town, you look for the negatives. I don't know if there's something about their upbringing, or they have too many hoagies, or too much cream cheese.
I think they appreciated him, but they wanted to see more emotions on your sleeve. I'm not saying he didn't want to win. He wanted to win as bad as I did, as bad as Bull did, as bad as anybody. But he kept things bottled up a lot. And I think he got punished for that by the fans.
You bum, you stink! You stink, you bum!
Bottom of the fourth we go. The Braves trail 1-0. Alec Bohm will lead it off. Righty-righty matchup. Bohm, who walked his first time up, digs in. First pitch, swing, fouls it back. It's 0-1. Strider coming in with 62 pitches to start the inning. The 0-1. Swing, chops it over towards short. Allen's got it. He'll flip it to first. 6-3 in your scorecard, 1 away. Strider could really use a quick inning here. Bohm and then now Castellanos. Kepler stands on deck. Kepler with the lone Philadelphia hit. He doubled in. Alec Bohm his first time up. Castellanos struck out his first time up. He'll take the first pitch on the way down into the dirt. It's 1-0. The 1-0, righty-righty. Down and away, 2-0. So he's gone slider to start this at bat. The 2-0. Swing, rips it over towards third. Fair territory. Riley's going to bend, fire a rainbow across the diamond. He's going to get him just by a half step. That was Brooks Robinson-esque. And they do not want to challenge it. Looking at the replay, he got him by about a half step. He was damn near in the third base dugout when he let go of the ball. It one-hopped into the glove of Olsen, and don't sleep on the fact that that was one heck of a stretch by Olsen, because if he doesn't stretch, we don't get the out. Great defense by both. Strider acknowledges both of them. 2 down. Wow. First pitch on the way to Kepler's a curveball, outer edge. For a strike, it's 0-1. Maybe that'll wake these Braves up. Harris, Allen, and Acuna are due up in the 5th. The changeup misses off the plate, 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves trail 1-0. Timeouts being used by Max Kepler. They're showing some guy scooping ice cream. Looks pretty good. What's y'all's favorite ice cream? The 1-1. Swing, swats it back, foul. It's 1-2. Got about 3 or 4 that I really like, but if I can only grab one type of ice cream, I think it's, I'm sad to say, I think it's vanilla. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. Spencer Strider now with 6 strikeouts. We go to the top of the 5th. Let's get some runs, Braves country. My God.
God, when people tell me you're going to regret that in the morning, I sleep till noon because, I'm a problem solver.
My dentist was like, nope, not standard procedure to get general anesthesia for a teeth cleaning. But I love going to the dentist. You get to tell them that you floss every day, and then they floss you, and your gums bleed. And then they know you're a liar. And you get to have a suction tube that sucks the inside of your cheek. And they go, raise your hand if it hurts. And then they stop, and then they just keep going. And you get to lie in a chair and stare directly into the strongest lamp on planet Earth. And they wait until you have 7 instruments in your mouth before they ask you a question. And their cleaning pick device strikes every nerve on your teeth. And the whole experience is just uncomfortable. I love going to the dentist.
AIDS, I got AIDS, we're coming through.
Yeah, sorry, I'm the doctor. My patient's got to get to the front of the line because he has AIDS.
Got the AIDS.
Got it from a gay guy in the 80s.
I'm not gay. I mean, there's 2 kind of AIDS. There's the AIDS and the needle-based AIDS. No AIDS are bad. There's no good AIDS. But I'm telling you, like I said, this is not the gay AIDS.
Philly is a blue-collar, passionate, we want to see your heart every game, every at-bat, and Mike was not like that.
Fans, they want to see the human side of people, and that's where the vulnerability comes in. You have to open yourself up and let people see that. And he was very good at keeping people from seeing inside.
You're trying your damnedest. You strike out and they boo you. I act like it doesn't bother me, like I don't hear anything the fans say, but the truth is I hear every word and it kills me.
I mean, it hurt me because this is my idol. This is the best player in the game. Why would you boo this guy?
Can you imagine Mike Schmidt being so successful and yet sometimes it wasn't enough? And then you start thinking, what is enough?
That's an interesting question.
Welcome back. Atlanta Braves trail this one 1-0. We're in the top of the 5th. Austin Riley with an unbelievable play over there at third. He's going to have to play darn near flawless baseball to get a Gold Glove, y'all. First pitch on the way is a chopper down the first base line. It's 0-1. He's already got 7 errors on the year. We always tend to remember the really good plays. We always forget the errors that he makes. The 0-1, although I do think he should have had one by now. Just maybe not this year. The 0-1. Swing, pops it up. His woes will continue, it looks like. No, it's going to fall in the middle into no man's land. And Michael Harris, if he's hustling, he's standing at second base. But he just kind of bebopped on down to first. Nonetheless, it is a base hit. He put his head down, picked up the pace a little bit, But by the time he realized that had a chance, Stott was smart in yelling at Turner to cover second, because all four defenders were converging on the ball. First pitch on the way to Allen. Beautiful bunt. And I mean beautiful bunt. Suarez has to turn, throw with his left hand to first. So kind of an awkward throw, but he'll make the play. 1-3 put out, one down. On the play, Michael Harris moves down to second. But back to that Harris hit. If he's hustling out the box, he's going to get to second base because all four defenders were converging on it, and no one would have been over there to realistically cover the bag. And if the third baseman Sosa goes over there to try to cover it, Harris could just run to third. First pitch on the way is a 92 up top. It's Ron Acuna Jr. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. 1-0. He set up inside. Right there. 92, 1-1. Tying run in scoring position now for the Braves. Michael Harris with good speed. Anything that gets down should score. 1-1 inside, almost gets him. Cutter, 2-1. Don't think there was any intent there. We are going to be paying attention to that over the next few games, because with their big guy getting hit and knocked out of the game, I could be wrong as the 2-1 swing, fouls it back, 2-2. It almost looks like that Acuna's got even more padding than he normally does. I mean, he's got oven mitts on. He's got like a robot arm. He almost looks like what's the comic book guy? The Iron Man up there. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Outside wide, 3-2. Suarez does not want to load the bases. You know that, with Riley coming to the plate. If they do load the bases, you could see a double steal. The payoff pitch to Acuna. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. And with that going on, we'll change the view. Try to refresh this. I think we lost a pitch or something somewhere on the previous. Sometimes when they go to break, it'll circle around a bit and slow down your screen. So Austin Riley stands in. We'll see if it fixes itself here in a second. Runners at first and second, one out. Braves' first real scoring opportunity in the game. See, can the rate come through? First pitch on the way. 81 misses high and out of the zone. 1-0. Do wonder if they'll try to put that double steal on. Harris is at second. Acuna's at first. Lefty-righty matchup. 1-0. Misses high, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Braves nothing, Philly 1. The 2-0. Suarez is 76th of the night. Swing hits it up the middle. That's going to be backhanded for a double play. No, he will not. Riley will beat it out. It's going to be a very good attempt at a 6-4-3 double play, but Riley beats it out. We've got runners on the corners with 2 outs. So Acuna will be erased off the base paths. And Riley, with still very good speed for a third baseman and good hustle on that play, beats it out. And that'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. See if Ozuna can get into the action. A single here would tie the game. Lefty-righty matchup, first pitch, down and in. 1-0. The question you might have if you're sitting here playing this forward, would Suarez be pitching around Ozuna to get to the left-handed Olsen? The 2 outs, the 1-0. Right there, 90 cutter at the knees. 1-1. think Ozuna might have been thinking the same thing. Now that he's got a strike on him, might change his approach a little bit. 1-1 count. They set up inside. Right there, 1-2. Well, please swing the bat at some point, Ozuna. We've seen this way too much recently from all the Braves hitters. The backwards K. Runners on the corners. 2 outs, 2 strikes, the pitch. Inside, 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2 on, 2 out, a 2-2 count. Suarez brings it. Swing, slices it back foul. Good job of keeping that alive. It's 2-2. He's seen a sinker, a cutter, a sinker. He's been getting them. These off speeds. The 2-2, Bender, outside wide, 3-2. Full count now, which means Riley will be on the move. Harris at third. The payoff pitch to Marcel. In the dirt, ball 4. So that'll load the bases. Let's go Braves country. The bases are loaded. Ducks all over the pond. And Olsen coming to the plate. JT's going out there to talk to Suarez. Looks like this is going to be a bit of a mound meeting. While they do that, let's hit the out-of-town scoreboard. Hit that up in 1 second. Looks like it's going to be fairly quick. So Matt Olson will dig in. Bases loaded. First pitch on the way. Slider down and away. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing, fouls it back. 1-1. One count. Inside 2-1. Very close pitch. Good job by Olsen to lay off of that one. Bases loaded. 2 outs. The 2-1 pitch. Swing! Slices it back foul. Cutter. Just missed that, and Olsen knows it. He's got that wry grin on his face, like the cat that almost ate the canary. He was so close to lining that thing up. You see it go straight back like that, you know he just missed pay dirt. Man, would that have put a charge into this Braves team. We're back to the drawing board. 2 outs, a 2-2 count, bases juiced, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. High heat, chased a fastball up around his eyeballs, and that'll end the inning. The Braves did put quite a few pitches on Suarez. He's at 84 through 5. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
So apparently it's rude to tap someone on the forehead and say skip intro when they start talking to you.
All-American man.
My typical favorite shot, honestly, is just old Jack D. Well, Ice Cold Jack D. But if I'm going to pick like more of like a shooter type of thing, it is the most dangerous one, and I no longer drink it. But man, a good Jaeger bomb.
I was about to say,
But
it's probably got some Jägermeister.
But I'm going to tell you right now, you do a Jaeger bomb nowadays, I'm probably going to end up in divorce court. So, 'cause I black out and not only just time travel, I travel. I wake up in other cities. So,
If I remember correctly, you used to like slap your face like Curly, and then you would just do this shuffle step, and then it was on after that.
Yes.
We went into plan M for McGee.
Yes.
All right, execute plan M. Tom, Todd, you get the flanks. if anybody's taller than McGee, get him out now.
Oh, yes.
At least that's how I remember it.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember it, and that's kind of the point.
Checkmate.
Armchair. To further solidify their control, the owners added a reserve clause to the contracts of the 5 best men on every team. It required that each play only for his current employer and reserved his services for the following year. At first, few complained. To be reserved was to be sure of a job for the coming season. Those who did complain that the reserve clause smacked of slavery, fired, then blacklisted. For the first time in the history of the game, players would serve the interests of the owner. For the next 100 years, the professional game would be dominated by those who owned the field and supplied the ball.
Spencer Strider goes back on the bunk for inning number 5. He's sitting at 70 pitches. Righty started off with Real Muto, the number 8 hitter. First pitch on the way to JT is high and out of the zone. 94 miles an hour, well above the dome of JT over the plate. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swing, fouls it back. 1-1 count. Infield is back and to the left, playing JT to pull. Here's the pitch. Right there. Change up. 1-2. In a perfect world, Strider goes 6, but if he can get through 5, with tomorrow most likely being a day off, you can just unload the pen after a day off on Monday. And another one coming up tomorrow. The 1-2. Strider turns and brings it. Slider misses. 2-2. Two count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Spencer Strider doing the thing. 7 strikeouts, 1 away. That'll bring Brandon Marsh to the plate. The out-of-town scoreboard, by the way, looks like this. The first pitch on the way is a curveball in the dirt. It's 1-0. 1-0. Orioles over the Cardinals 4-3 in the 6th. Tigers 3-0 over the Giants in the 6th. 1-0. Swing, pops it up. High into left field. Drifting back well before the warning track is the Book of Eli for out number 2. Twins lead the Rays 2-1 in the 5th inning. White Sox getting it handed to them by the Mets 5-2 in the 4th. Red Sox and Brewers are scoreless. That game is in the 3rd. Reds and Royals, Kansas City leads Cincinnati 2-1. They're in the 3rd. First pitch on the way is a slider at the knees to Stott, the leadoff hitter. It's 0-1. Rockies and Cubs are just getting started, scoreless out in Colorado. They're in the 1st. 0-1. 95 up high, outside, 1-1. Blue Jays and Rangers scoreless in the 1st. as are the A's and the Astros. Later on tonight, you've got 4 late games. 1-1. Fouls it back, it's 1-2. Yankees are at the Angels at 9:38. Marlins at the Padres at 9:40. The Pirates at the Diamondbacks at 9:40, as well as the Mariners at Seattle. Mariners hosting in Seattle versus Washington at 9:40. 1-2, foul it back. Do it again. You got 3 games starting at 9:40 and the Angels at 9:38. Are the Angels in just a slightly different time zone? Is that why they're starting 2 minutes earlier? The 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. That's an odd start to them. 2-2 count. Strider, 83rd of the night. 96 misses high and out of the zone, full count. So now he's in danger of walking a batter, which would bring Trey Turner to the plate. You'd much rather see him with the bases empty in the 6th. De Los Santos is starting to get warm. Payoff pitch. Misses down and away, getting cute. Ball 4. Suppose just going at him with that fastball, which he has not been able to handle. Smurf dials up the bender, and it's well off the plate. Krantz is going to go out there and talk to him, probably just to buy some time. Smurf will go out there and talk with him. Tomorrow's game scheduled for 6:45, but once again, I have serious doubts we'll see that. Can't really pull it up, but I'll tell you, just looking at the radar in Philadelphia. Starting at, I believe, was it 6 a.m.? Is that when they were saying? Actually might start coming earlier. They've got rain being projected at 9 o'clock now. It was supposed to be clear until the end of the game. First pitch on the way is down and away. It's 1-0. So this could really be a mess. But starting at 4 a.m., there is a front coming in that has about 50% chance of rain, going north into 90 to 80% in that neighborhood all day long, bouncing back and forth until 4 a.m. on Thursday. So essentially 24 hours of a downpour. So 1-0's in the dirt, 2-0. 2-0 count. Righty. Pitch from Strider. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Seems like Strider's taking a lot of time. I haven't seen him really in the neighborhood of being close to getting a pitcher violation, but that one there, as he flipped it over to first, that was down to 3 seconds. He might have gotten the sign from Smurf to go over there just to reset that. The 2-1. Misses high, 3-1. So now we're starting to wonder if Strider's even going to get out of this inning. He is spitting the bit here. He's only at 88 pitches. He hasn't been able to find the zone. 3-1 count. Right there for a strike, 3-2. You do have Sosa on deck, so I'm not opposed to pitching around Turner to go after Sosa for the third out, but it just seems like he's really laboring. And you wonder if he'll get that opportunity, or will they go to De Los Santos? The payoff pitch, outside wide, ball 4. Walks another batter. And here comes Snit. And I really think he should have given him an opportunity to pitch to Sosa. This is another bad job by Snicker, but nothing you can do about it but watch him waddle out there. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Hi, y'all. It's time for Appalachian Word of the Day. The word of the day is diesel. Don't worry about buying me a new pair of pants. Diesel fit.
You know, I normally don't root against teams because I think that's not I don't give a rat's ass who win these games. Of what? Just want to say, so I never root. Because I don't care who wins. I mean, I just want the season to be over so we can go play golf and fish.
All right, let's.
But I root. The Lakers are such wussies. It's just really pissing me off. And I got to tell you something.
Oh no! Hey, you know we've got a guest standing by.
Well, the Lakers still suck when we get back from this interview.
Okay.
Hey, where's that Miami Dolphins ornament I sent you? You didn't hang it up?
I got my Jets ornament up there.
So?
So? I'm not gonna cancel out my Jets ornament with the freaking Dolphins.
What, are you crazy? One ornament doesn't cancel out another.
They're both in the AFC East.
Mike Schmidt was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio, where he grew up to be a star athlete in 3 sports: baseball, basketball, and football. But a left knee injury his sophomore year ended his football career in high school. And when he later needed surgery on his right knee too, it looked like any dreams of playing sports beyond that were over.
So I started thinking about, well, what am I going to do with my life? And I went to school to become an architect. That was the one subject in high school that I really enjoyed. So that's one of the reasons that I went to Ohio University. I saw myself as an architect, like Jason Alexander on Seinfeld.
But Schmidt did try out for Ohio's baseball team, and he made it as a walk-on his freshman year, before becoming the Bobcats' starting shortstop as a sophomore.
That was the turning point in my baseball life, where that job opened up for me to play shortstop on the varsity team, and from that point on, I became a player.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Spencer Strider's out of the game. I just think at 90 pitches he should have been given the opportunity to face Sosa, just to be clear. And then if he didn't get Sosa, then fair enough. Go get him. 1-0 your score. First pitch on the way is swung on and foul back. It's 0-1. And I get it that Snicker wants to win the game. I'm not going to kill him for that decision. I just think trying to get Strider some confidence going for the next start and the next one, you got to let him try to get out of that. It would have been different if the man who got injured, Bryce Harper, were coming to the plate. I would totally understand getting him out of there. As the 0-1 swung on and fouled back, it's 0-2. But for those who are not familiar with Sosa, I mean, he's not exactly Mickey Mantle. I know anybody can get a base hit on anybody at any time, but he should have been given a chance. That's all I'm saying. The 0-2 count. Sometimes you got to believe in your guys. De Los Santos brings it. Swing, pops it back, foul, will do it again. He's not catching up with that fastball. If they throw him anything else but that fastball, that's going to be foolish. That high fastball, he's not able to lay off of it, and he hasn't been able to catch up with it either. The 0-2, way outside wide, 1-2. One-two count. Righty, the pitch. Swing, rips it over towards third. Riley has it. He'll flip it to first. And a wide throw, bad throw by Riley, but a great tag by Olsen will end the inning. Philly threatens, just like Atlanta did previous frame, but they do not get one in. Ozzie Albies leads us off when we return.
You're my 32nd lover.
You ain't been with that many men, Haley.
No. My 32nd lover.
Were you ever crazy about somebody back in the day? I'm talking like 20 or 30 years ago. Only to see them now and think to yourself, I'm glad I missed that boat.
Why does beer taste so much better on a Friday? It's like it knows.
If they caused you to open your notes app, they ain't it. Now for the back row. If they caused you to open your notes app, move on.
Suspect's feet smell like hot dog water.
I can't help it. They're always sweaty.
I think it's important to go do social activities once in a while so you can remember why you prefer staying at home.
I went on to become all Mid-American Conference player and an All-American, and I kept seeing more scouts in the stands at Ohio University, and my confidence rose. And I just felt all of a sudden like it was a real possibility that I might get drafted.
He'd be the first pick in the second round of the 1971 draft for the Philadelphia Phillies, then the lowliest franchise in baseball.
You have to understand that Philadelphia, in the era he played in, nobody had ever won anything. The Phillies had never won a World Series. They were the losingest franchise in the history of the sport.
And here's Schmidt coming in as a guy who they hope can be the savior. They hope can be the answer, the focal point, the foundation of a team that will win and bring that first championship to Philadelphia.
After a quick cameo in the big leagues in 1972, the highly touted prospect got the Phillies' starting third baseman job in 1973, but he struggled in the role.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Braves still trail by one. Ozzie Albies will lead us off. Suarez goes back to work. Top of the fifth we go. First pitch swinging. And Ozzie Albies, he's got that bat cooking. It's a leadoff single into left field. And the Wiz on base one more time. Let's do it.
I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz and nobody beats me.
The sinker down and into the Wiz, and he slaps it into left field just over the defense. Let's set you up with the action cam. Sean Murphy takes the first pitch in for a ball. It's 1-0. Murphy 0 for 2, batting just .218 now. He does have 8 home runs. 1-0. High Bender takes a curveball right down the middle of the plate. 1-1. They've got lefty-righty action working in the Philly bullpen. Suarez is at 91 pitches. Look like Kirkering from the right side. 1-1. Inside. Cutter misses 2-1. 2-1 count. One swing could make it 2-1 if Smurf could plant one into that left field seats. The 2-1 pitch brings it. Swing and a miss. Came out of his shoes on a cutter well under his hands and off the plate. So that'll even up the count 2-2. Smurf need to shorten up that swing a little bit. Ozzie, once again, you'd think he would really think about going on these 2 strikes because Suarez has been throwing the Bender. They're going to flip over to first real quick to see if he did have that in mind. You almost have to start figuring out a way to manufacture runs when your offense is going so lethargically recently. The 2-2. They set up well inside. The pitch. Swing, chops it foul. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Phillies 1. Top of 6. Fast-moving game here in the Keystone State. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away. Sean Murphy down on strikes once again. That'll bring Eli White to the plate. Seems like it's been a while since he's had a big hit. He is due. 0 for 2 today. First pitch on the way. Slow bending curveball off the plate. It's 1-0. Huge hole in that right side. If Eli can poke it through, we could go corner to corner. The infield is back into the left, and second baseman Stott is standing on second, essentially. 1-0. Up top, misses. They said he went around 1-1. Not a whole lot of argument from Eli. A strikeout and a pop out. The 1-1. Bender, curveball, misses, well off the plate, 2-1. Trying to get him to reach for that pitch, maybe dribble one down the right side. 2-1 count. The pitch. Swing, sinker. Fouls it away, 2-2. Again, Ozzie over there at first with 2 strikes. The 2-2 count. Down and away, 3-2. Full count. So a full count to Eli. Here's the pitch. Swing, pops it up. Can of corn. Another easy out. 2 down. Catch is made by Bowman, foul territory. And Ozzie once again standing at second base. They haven't tried anything with the running game. And now you got Nick Allen on deck and Harris, who's been dreadful against Suarez, is coming to the plate. If anybody's due against somebody, it's Michael Harris. He is first pitch on the way, 90 right inside. It's on 1. He had that seeing eye blooper. That was just his 3rd hit in 24 at-bats against Suarez. The 0-1. Swing, rips it. Over towards second. Should be an easy 4-3 put out. It is, and that'll end the inning. Another easy inning for Suarez and the Phillies. Braves really only threatened that 1 inning when Olsen struck out with the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still trailing by 1.
Do you ever just look at someone and think, you're the Monday of people?
So take us to 1955. Where were you when they won it all?
I was in the last period of the day in math class with Mr. Rabin. And it surprised me when I moved south that we weren't doing this. But of course, coming from the New York area, there was always at least one team in the World Series. So each fall, they played the World Series on the radio over the PA system. Remember, this is the 1950s.
So they played it during the entire broadcast?
Yes. And
okay.
Teachers had the right, to turn it on and off, maybe teach a little math and then go. But I distinctly remember being in there and, grabbing the side of the desk and just praying, and all of us feeling that way. And then when we won, of course, and I guess it must have been during math class, my best memory, that the game was won by the Dodgers. And we just burst out. And I still remember Mr. Rabin looking at us and say, okay, no homework tonight for you Dodger fans, but don't you ever mention this again. He loved the Yankees.
They were playing the Yankees.
Yes.
Johnny Padres will go down in infamy.
I remember hearing a report one night that, of course, the celebration broke out all over the streets of Brooklyn, and there was a pregnant woman who delivered a baby in the middle of all this, and he was named Johnny Padres, whatever. So there may be somebody still wandering around the streets of New York with that name. Armchair.
Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Braves Country Radio. Pull up a chair. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. De Los Santos back out there on the bump. Face Kyle Schwarber. First pitch on the way is 89. Off the plate, it's 1-0. You know Schwarber will be swinging for the downs. Braves trail 1-0. We're in the bottom of the sixth. 1-0. Nowhere near the zone to him. 2-0 count. Once again, the idea of saving anybody in this game for tomorrow is silly because there is a monsoon heading towards Philadelphia. 2-0 in the dirt 3. 3-0 count. Bohm on deck. Castellanos in the hole. A left-hander of Kepler after that. The 3-0. Nowhere near the ball. Nowhere near the zone. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk, and none of them were even in the neighborhood. And that's how we'll start the 6th inning. Lee is warming up in the bullpen, but I'd say he's being saved for Kepler. So these next two, De Los Santos is going to have to get somebody out here. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss strike, it's on 1. That pitch was out of the zone, but he got him to chase. You could tell De Los Santos didn't want any part of Schwarber. He should have just hit him. Would have saved him 3 pitches. The 0-1, swing, dribbles it up the middle. Play is made by Allen. He steps on second, fires it to first, and it is a nifty 6-3 put out. He was almost taken out by Ozzie Albies. Ozzie Albies collided with him. And it was like a chip block, and he was able to beat him out. Allen and Ozzie giving a hug on the play. Basically, Ozzie saying, my bad. If Ozzie gets the ball, we're going to be screwed anyways. There's no way you're going to get the runner at second, and it would have been very difficult to get him at third. At first. That's the biggest thing that you get with that problem of going up there and having such a big shift on the right-handed batter. First pitch on the way, swung on by Castellanos, and he gets another base hit against the Atlanta Braves. It is uncanny how a guy who's not that great of a hitter, to be honest with you, he's not heading to the Hall of Fame by any stretch of the imagination, but he gets hits against the Braves. And now they're going to come out and get him. So he got 2 outs, but the left-handed bat of Kepler's due up. They'll probably pinch hit, but they're going to force Philadelphia's hand. Here comes Snicker waddling out, and here comes Lee charging in from the mound.
So I used to date this guy. And he... Oh, I don't think I'm ready to talk about that yet.
How to act when you see an attractive person. Quickly look away. Now slowly look back. Slight smile. Look down. Slowly look up at them. Start to wave hi, but then change your mind. Now laugh to yourself. Now dead serious. Now blow them a kiss. Blow them another kiss. Now blow them a French kiss. Flare your nostrils. Now flick your tongue like a lizard. Now squint your eyes and mouth the words, call me.
I love when people are like, what are you doing after work? And I'm like, what am I doing after work? I have to make supper. I have to go to bed at 7:30. What do you mean? What am I doing after work? Are we meant to be doing things after?
After a spectacular early season in 1877, the Louisville Grays of the new National League mysteriously lost 7 games in a row. Players bobbled the ball, seemed to slow between bases, swung suspiciously wide. The Grays lost the pennant. Afterwards, some were seen wearing fancy clothes and diamond stick pins. An investigation revealed that gamblers had bought off 4 players, including one of the National League's greatest pitchers, the popular Jim Devlin. When confronted with the evidence, Devlin confessed.
Was introduced to a man named McLeod, who said when I wanted to make a little money to let him know was to use the word sash in telegraphing, and he would know what was meant. We made a contract to throw a game in Indianapolis, received $100 from McLeod for it, and gave it to my wife.
Welcome back. Dylan Lee comes on, first pitch on the way. They're going to leave Kepler in. I'm a little surprised by that. Strikeout there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Thought they may be going to one of the right-handed options off the bench, but might be a little too early in the game for that. The 0-1. If the game does take place tomorrow, it'll be A.J. Smith-Shawver. Pitch on the way, 93 out wide. 1-1 count. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Can of corn. Who wants it? Looks like it's going to be the Wiz. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So Dylan Lee comes in and puts out the fire. We head to the 7th, still trailing by a run. I mean, come on. It's the name of the game. We'll be back in a flash.
I don't know who put me on the list to work for a living, but it's rude.
I called you like 5 times and you ain't answered the phone because my been on Do Not Disturb all day. Well, people can't get in contact with you if you always got your on Do Not Disturb. I know, ain't it just wonderful? That's the point.
Here are some facts about Ireland that you may not know. Fact number 1. There are more Irish people abroad than there are in Ireland. There's over 80 million people worldwide that claim Irish heritage, and there's only about 6 million of us at home. The President of Ireland actually has very little power. The Taoiseach holds all the power as head of government. Ireland's patron Saint Patrick, the great man, was actually born in Wales, not Ireland. But like everyone else, he claims to be Irish. The submarine was actually invented in Ireland. The holiday Halloween, which is very heavily celebrated all over the world, actually originates in Ireland, derived from a Celtic celebration called Samhain. So you're welcome. And finally, for all the Americans out there, that White House where your president sits in, yeah, that was designed by an Irishman too.
Let me sum it up. Twitter's stupid, and Instagram is Twitter for people who can't read.
The magnitude of the conspiracy stunned the baseball world. The Louisville Grays suspended the accused players, who claimed they had only done it because their owners had failed to pay them their wages. Devlin was brought before National League President William Hulbert.
Devlin was in tears. Hulbert was in tears. I saw Hulbert take a $50 bill and press it into the palm of the prostrate player. And then I heard him say, "That's what I think of you personally. Damn you, Devlin, you are dishonest. You have sold a game, and I can't trust you. Now go and let me never see your face again, for your act will not be condoned so long as I live. Albert Goodwill Spaulding."
Welcome back. It will be Kirkering. Orion Kirkering coming in, the right-hander. He throws some gas. First pitch on the way is a bender off the plate to Nick Allen. It's 1-0. He throws about a mid to high 90s fastball. He has struggled with command, but usually is a pretty good option. 1-0, chopped over to short. Easy 6-3 put out. One away. That'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Acuna, very quiet night so far. 0 for 2 with the walk. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, inside, almost gets him. Acuna stares out there at Kirkering. It's 1-0. I wonder if that may be one of those pitches that we were talking about. Will they go inside to him? 1-0. High and inside. 2-0. Another one. That one wasn't as close, so could be coincidences, but just keep that in the back of your mind. The 2-0 to Acuna. Inside sinker, 2-1. And he throws that high 90 seed. If he gets you, you could be heading back to the IL. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Man, he make him look silly on that one. 2-2. That sweeper looked like a wiffle ball. 2-2 count. Acuna spits on the sweeper that falls off the edge. Full count. If Acuna can get on, you'll have Riley coming to the plate with Ozuna walking to the on-deck circle. The payoff pitch. Swing, chops it off his foot. Foul. So a full count to Acuna. Braves still trail by 1. Running out of outs here. Time to put a charge into an inning. The payoff pitch. Swing. Fouls it away. 98 miles an hour down the right field line. 3-2, swung on. That ball's bounced into left field, and that's going to get through for a base hit. So Ronald Acuna Jr. with a single. 1 on, 1 out.
Bravo.
1 on, 1 out.
Bravo.
Austin Riley comes to the plate. First pitch on the way, pops it up. Can of corn. Who wants it? Castellanos will make the easy out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Riley goes, sits down. 2 down. So it'll be all left up to Ozuna. These early pitches they swing at. And off the plate, that pitch was 3 inches inside. Whatever the intention was to change this offense, bringing in Tim Hyer has not worked. Marcell Ozuna, the batter. First pitch inside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Ozuna 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Righty. Pitch, swing, chops it foul. Off of Real Muto, it's 0-2. 0-2 count. Alvarado, the left-handed closer for the Phillies, is on the 80-day suspension list, just like Jurickson Profar. So he's obviously not available, but they still have Jordan Romano, who has had a lot of closing experience, mainly in Toronto. The 0-2. Swinging and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. And did he make him look silly? We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch. Bottom of the 7th inning we go. Dylan Lee will go back to work. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss by Real Muto. It's 0-1. Real Muto, the number 8 hitter. Marsh, who they may pinch hit, is due up next. And then Bryson Stott. Pitch swung on and banged foul. It's 0-2. In a perfect scenario, if they leave everybody in, they're in pretty good shape, but I would think you're going to get at least one pinch hitter. The guys on the bench, now obviously Sosa's already been used as the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the slider. One away. But you've got Rojas, who's a right-handed bat, who plays the outfield. He could be coming in from Marsh. You also have Weston Wilson. He's a right-handed bat. You also have the catcher, but I don't think he's not much of a hitter, so he's really just used for emergency purposes or to give JT an off day. It will be Weston Wilson. He has gotten hot from time to time. He's only batting .227 this season, but I remember last year at one point he was hitting the high 350s pretty deep into the year. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Slider down and in, 1-1. Clean that screen up for you. It looks like they did not reset it. 1-1 count. Lefty righty. Looks like Strom, the left-hander, is warming up in the pen for the Phillies. 1-1, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Of course, he's coming on mainly to face Olsen. But in that inning is the 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. Olsen, Ozzie, and Smurf will be due up. And you got to think of it nowadays, when you're an opposing manager, you'd much rather have a lefty facing Smurf than a righty facing Baldwin. Montero's warming up in the Braves pen. The 2-2. Right there at the knees, caught looking, strike 3, 2 down. Braves need to get out of this inning, get some runs on the board. We won't see Montero. But if everything goes according to plan, if we don't score in the next inning, you'll probably see Montero out there for the 9th. And he is a walk machine if you haven't paid attention this year. Bryson Stott, the batter. First pitch on the way. Bender at the knees. Just misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Inside, misses. Well inside, 2-0. 2-0 count. Braves still trail 1-0. The 2-0. 95 right there, top of the zone. 2-1. The 2-1 from Lee. Nowhere near the zone. Ball 3. Also, what's coming our way. Gotta see exactly when that's being projected to hit. We'll call it top of the next hour. There's Reyna coming. 3-1 right there, first strike, 3-2. So if this goes into any kind of extra innings, you may get a rain delay as well. That's best case scenario right now, is we can't even get on the scoreboard. The 3-2 swung on, chopped over to Riley. Riley has it, fires it to first. Won't be in time. It'll be an infield single for Stott as he beats out the throw. Riley had a long way to go. It's a good throw by Riley, but long, long way to go And Stott has pretty good speed. He's holding his left side. I don't know if that's just, I don't know, that's weird. You don't see, he's talking to his first base coach. First base coach, Paco Figueroa, is talking to Stott. You wonder if he may have pulled something. It could just be a cramp, but it almost looked like an oblique type thing. He's not looking at the trainer, so I guess nothing. Well, here comes Montero. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's going to get ugly early. We'll be back in a flash.
Do y'all ever wonder why we don't have giant drones and crazy flying over West Virginia? It's because we would have shot it down and stripped it for copper.
Dad, is there a reason Mom is just mad in her office right now?
Well, I'm sure she thinks there is.
Well, she's in there knocking stuff over, and I'm sure you have something to do with it.
I'm sure I do too.
Well, you gonna tell me what's going on, or what?
Last week she had to make an appointment for some event she wanted to do in Vegas. She was making hotel reservations, and I told her she had the wrong weekend, and she told me to shut up, I was stupid, and stay in my lane. So mind my own business.
Okay, and what happened?
And this week she found out that she had the wrong weekend, the wrong hotel, and when she tried to switch it around, it's all booked up solid.
So she's mad at herself.
You think she's in her office mad at herself, yelling? No.
Okay, well then who's she mad at?
She's mad at me.
You, why? You tried to help her.
Because she told me, hey, you're supposed to know when to stay in your lane, and you're supposed to know when not to stay in your lane and help me out.
Okay, then how are you supposed to tell her she's wrong without her getting more mad?
How do I know that? As soon as I figure that out, I'll let her know her boxes of Amazon products are out front in the grass getting rained on for the past 2 hours after she lectured me on what a sunny day today was supposed to be.
I'm blown away by the amount of people on my last post that keep commenting that it's a felony to shoot down the alien drones, as if anybody who would actually shoot down an alien drone and strip it for copper gives a if it's a felony.
In the minor leagues, obviously he was such a great athlete, he dominated. But in the big leagues, it doesn't happen overnight.
I wasn't able to make the necessary adjustments as a hitter. I hit under 200, under the Mendoza line, as they say, 196.
1973, the Phillies are playing the Dodgers, and my brother's a pitcher for the Phillies, my brother Kim. So my family goes to the game, and Schmitty struck out 3 times or something. And my brother John, he says, God, that Mike Schmidt's terrible. He's terrible. And my brother Kim says to him, he says, you wait, this guy is going to be really, really good.
Welcome back. Montero, first pitch, hammered into right field, but a running catch by Acuna, and that'll end the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll take that all day long. We'll be back in a flash. Braves grab the bats. See if they're still alive when we return.
Maybe I'm the problem. Nah, that doesn't even sound right. Stay woke in these streets.
Major League Baseball pitcher Brady Singer's mom reading the letter he sent her just before Christmas.
I love you, Mom and Dad. Dear Mom and Dad, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done to help me reach my dreams. From Woodley Field to Kaufman's. There's absolutely no way I could have done all this by myself. Both of you constantly took off of work and spent every dime you made just to put a smile on my face. My smile and appreciation for both of you has never stopped, and it never will. I will always remember traveling around Florida for baseball, trying to cheaply eat and save money, but I never could because you both always wanted me to have the best stuff to help me pursue my dreams. The money you both spent on traveling, your gear, hotel, food, and all those Gatorades I drank is much more than I could ever give you. But there was something I want to give to you. I am paying off the loan from the bank. Also, I paid off all your debt as well. What? Now, instead of trying to save money every weekend to replace the savings account you drained on traveling to play baseball, you can spend it on yourselves. Because you deserve the very best, I want you both to know how much I appreciate you and how none of this would be possible without you. Your giving hearts helped to shape my tiny dream into a reality. I love you both more than you could ever imagine and will never forget what you both have done. Now let's go celebrate. Merry Christmas. Love always, Brady.
Despite their pleas for forgiveness, Hulbert banned all 4 players from baseball forever. For 5 years, Jim Devlin haunted the corridors outside meetings of the National League club owners, hoping somehow to be reinstated. Desperate, he wrote to Harry Wright, still the most respected man in the game. Harry Wright did nothing.
Welcome back. Matt Olson leads us off. It'll be the left-hander Matt Strom. So a lefty-lefty matchup to begin the 8th. First pitch on the way. Swing. Sliced into left field. Sliding catch by Kepler. Good play by Max Kepler. F7 in your scorecard. One away. One pitch, one out. That'll bring up Ozzie Albies. On deck is Sean Murphy. In the hole, if the Braves can get anybody aboard, Eli White. Braves trail 1-0. Ranger Suarez once again dominant against Atlanta Braves. Braves have scattered 5 hits. Philly just 3, but they got the all-important 1 run. First pitch on the way to Ozzie, swung on. Chase one high and out of the zone, fouls it back. It's 0-1. Suarez, if you're just joining us, 6 innings, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, 4 hits allowed. Spencer Strider went just 4 2/3 as he go 1 inside, 1 1-1, 7 strikeouts and a hit, which sounds great, but he walked 4. De Los Santos came in to clean that up. Dylan Lee and Montero have followed suit. 1-1's fouled back. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. Braves trail by just a swing. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That ain't the one. 2 away. Chased it well off the plate, and Strom mows down the first 2 guys he sees. And that'll bring Sean Murphy to the plate. Smurf could tie this one up with a swing. But he is yet to get aboard. Struck out his last 2 times up. Grounded out the fielder's choice in the first time up. First pitch on the way is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Now what you do have when you have a Drake Baldwin in your back pocket, if Smurf gets on, you could pinch run with him. You could probably Luke Williams is the route they would go, or Stuart Fairchild. 1-0. Inside. 1-1. I'd say most likely Fairchild would be the first one. You almost want to hold on to Luke because he gives you options of where you can put him if you want to pitch run in the 9th. The 1-1. Swing pops it up. Out of play. 1-2. Daysbull Hernandez is now warming up in the Braves pen. I think they're reading the radar just like I am, and they know there's no reason to hold any of their big guns for a game tomorrow that's not going to take place. 1-2 count. It must be an enormous system to come in and sit on Philadelphia for 24 hours. The 1-2. Way high out of the zone, 2-2. Two count. Asked when did Riley get his last hit? It was today. The 2-2. Swung on, fouled back. We'll do it again. Austin Riley is 1 for 4 today. It does not get any easier as this series goes on. Zach Wheeler, who the Braves do not hit at all, is next up on the docket. The 2-2. High and out of the zone, 3-2. So full count now to Sean Murphy. Braves trying to steal one away from the Phillies. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first, and that'll get a pinch runner in for Sean Murphy for sure. We'll see where they go. I would think it's going to be Fairchild. Pitch was well in off the plate. We'll say 2 to 3 inches. And it will be, looks like that's Luke Williams. Alec Boehm's big head was blocking him. I'm pretty sure that's Luke Williams. So runner, yeah, that's Luke. Okay, so runner at first is Luke Williams. He's got good speed. Eli White, the batter. First pitch on the way. Up top, misses high. It's 1-0. They check down the line, but first base umpire Mark Wegner, who will be behind the plate in game 2, says no dice. 1-0. Eli, pop out, strikeout, and foul out tonight. Swing and a miss at that pitch. It's 1-1. We'll put it on the action cam in case Luke takes off. I mean, if you're going to bring him in, I'm telling Luke Williams, steal within the first 2 or 3 pitches. 1-1. Swung on and dribbled over towards short. It's going to be a tough play. Luke's going to get out. He wasn't even running fast enough to beat that play. That should have been beaten. He must have gotten a slow start. He did. He got an incredibly slow start off of first. We'll be back in a flash. Stuart Fairchild's the play. I don't know why they went to Luke. We'll be back.
It's time for Appalachian Word of the Day. The word of the day is anemone. I was walking up and down the stairs all day yesterday. Anemone started hurting.
Nipply out. I mean nippy out. What did I say? Nipple? There is a nip in the air, though.
Brian, I'm going to single you out. You are only supposed to be taking 1 to 2 snacks per day.
Okay, the snacks in the office are free, though. So what's...
Technically, they are free, but you're not supposed to be taking 20 bags of Doritos at a time.
Okay, that wasn't me. I didn't take...
Actually, it was. Head of security, could you please roll the tapes?
This on September 15th around 7:30 in the morning.
I mean, you're chugging a beer, you're tossing all of the snacks in the cupboard into your knapsack. This is just outrageous.
This is like one time, 2 months ago, whatever. Like, I don't know what the...
No, bro, I see you doing this on camera all the time. This is not your first offense.
Did you take all of my gluten-free chips?
Wait, none of this would be an issue if you just paid me more, honestly. Like,
We pay you more than enough.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Do I have low-income white girl eyes and trailer park cheekbones? That is a bit concerning.
So at least the potential was there in '73, and the year proved to be pivotal for Schmidt off the diamond as well.
I met my beautiful wife at the end of the 1973 season, having lunch at a place where she was working.
He came in after a golf game with Steve Carlton, and I think his name was Barry Lurch. I knew nothing about baseball. I'm the youngest of 4 girls and didn't care. As the place was basically empty, the waitress they had said, "There's somebody that wants to meet you." He had sunglasses on his head, he was flipping his clog off his foot, and he was just relaxed as can be. So of course I gave him my number. And we went out that weekend, and 3 weeks later we were engaged.
Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the country club today. Well, here we go. Bottom of the 8th. See if Daysbull Hernandez can keep it right here at 1-0, give the Braves a chance to tie it up in the 9th. They just showed the replay on the Philadelphia angle. Luke Williams actually went back to first and got an incredibly slow start on that play, which is why Luke was thrown out. And he gets just a normal jump as the first pitch missed for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0's fouled back. It's 1-1. If he gets just a normal jump, he's going to beat that throw, and they were not going to get Eli down the line because of the double clutch at short. 1-1. 99 out wide. 2-0. We'll put the screen back behind the plate. 2-1 count, swing and a miss, 2-2. Infield is back into the left. Braves trail 1-0. The 1 run by Philadelphia, all the way back in the 2nd inning. Braves have out hit the Phillies 5-3. And the Phillies have given the Braves an error, the 2-2. Slider outside wide, 3-2. Full count. Payoff pitch. Swing. Chops it up the middle, but Luke is there. He'll flip it over to first. And it's a 6-3 putout. One away. Drake Baldwin has come in for defensive purposes for Nick Allen. That's got nothing to do with wanting Allen out of the game. It's the fact that Baldwin is now going to be due up second in the next inning. First pitch on the way is a slider inside to Schwarber. It's 1-0. So don't go anywhere because our MVP is going to get a chance to bat in the ninth inning. 1-0. 99 misses high and outside. 2-0. They put Luke Williams in for Smurf. He'll bat in that position just behind Ozzie, and Baldwin is in for Allen in the 9 spot. 2-0. Fastball right there on the outer edge, 2-1. 100 miles an hour. Of course, if Schwarber gets a hold of one, 100-mile-an-hour pitch, that could be gone in an instant. He's already got 18 on the year. 2-1 right there for a strike, 2-2. He's just behind the league leader, Shohei Ohtani. So a 2-2 count. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 100 miles an hour, well out of the zone. Thankfully, he chased 2 away. Two down. I saw it earlier, and we were in the middle of the pitching break. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it now. James, thanks for gifting the first pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball. Right there at the knees to Bohm. It's 0-1. Gifting the 5 memberships, the 0-1. Swung on, foul back out of play. It's 0-2. I think we're like 3 or 4 away from the next plateau. The 0-2. Swing, lifts it, blasts it deep down the right field line. Just foul out of play. Shoo! Not out of that one. It's 0-2 once again. Yep. I didn't think it had a chance, but it just kept going and going. And I was like, man, go foul, would you? The 0-2 outside wide, 1-2. One-two to Bohm. Pitch, swing, chops it back up the mound, backhanded. Ozzie can't get to it, and it's a 2-out single for the Phillies. Bangs it right up the middle. First pitch on the way to Castellanos is a slider at the knees. It's 0-1. Yeah, according to the thing, we're 4 away. So if we get a few more before the cycle turns over, is the 0-1 swing. Dribbles that up the middle, and that's another base hit. Now they got 2 on and 2 out. So Daysbel, who looked like he was cruising, has now given up 2 base hits back to back. And the Phillies, with Kepler, who's a dangerous left-handed bat, have a chance to expand this lead. That is not what the Braves want. You wanted him to keep it right here. But instead, Kepler stands in. First pitch, nowhere near the zone. It's 1-0. On deck would be Real Muto. Righty-lefty matchup. Kepler already with the base hit. An RBI double. 1-0. Nowhere near the zone. 2-0. So Mr. Wild is back at it again. Cannot find the zone. The 2-0. 3-0. We'll put it back to the action in case there's a play at the plate. 2 out, the 3-0, 4-0. That ball was nowhere near the zone. So Captain Wild is doing his wild things. He's giving up 2 hits and a 4-pitch walk. Only one of the pitch was even remotely close to the strike zone. And Kranitz is going to come out here and talk to him. Might be a little too late because you let him load the bases, and now you're going out there to talk to him with JT Realmuto coming to the plate. And though Realmuto is not what he used to be, he's still a very good veteran bat, and he's not going to be an easy out. And the Braves have done nothing to back up Hernandez in the bullpen. They just assumed he was cruising along. So this is his game one way or the other. Out-of-town scoreboard, Cardinals lead the Orioles 7-4 in the 8th. Twins and Rays, it's 4-2 Minnesota in the 9th. White Sox down 3 to New York Mets in the 7th. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead over Milwaukee in the 6th. Reds lead the Royals 3-2 in the 7th. First pitch on the way to Realmuto. Nowhere near the zone. It's 1-0. Rockies and Cubs. Chicago leads at 2-1 in the 5th. Rangers and Blue Jays are knotted up at 0 in the 5th. 1-0. 2-0. That pitch was nowhere near the zone. He can't find the strike zone with a map. Astros lead the A's 7-1 in the 4th. Look, that was J.P. Sears on the mound tonight. 2-0. Right there for a strike. Luckily he was taking, because that was right down Main Street. He swings at that. This is a 5-run game. Dodgers beat the Guardians 9-5, and the Tigers topple the Giants 3-1. 2-1. Inside ball 3. All 3 balls 3 to 4 inches out of the zone. Daysbel Hernandez twisting in the wind. We've said it before. We've said it 100 times. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. He is not an 8th inning, 9th inning guy. He is too unreliable with walks. He's just not it. Full count. Runners are going to be on the go. The pitch. Ball 4. 3 to 4 inches off the plate. And the Phillies have doubled their lead 2-0. They went with a bender off the plate. He's got a 100 miles an hour fastball, and they can't rely on it, so they went to a slider off the plate. JT Realmuto spit on it. It's 2-0. First pitch on the way. 99 out of the zone to Johan Rojas. It's 1-0. (1-0). 2-0. 98 high and inside. Still nothing going on at the Braves. You got a pitcher who is spinning out of control, and you've got coming from the dugout. The 2-0. 3-0. (11 of the last 12 pitches have been balls, and very few have been near the zone. The 3-0, right down the pipe, taking all the way, 3-1. There is nothing going on in the Braves bullpen. They just flashed it from the Philly angle. You know the Braves aren't going to show up. The 3-1, 97, 3-2. Looks like Scott Blewett's finally getting up and moving around. He may be ready, but at this point, like, why didn't you go get him? The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll mercifully end the merry-go-round that is Daysbel Hernandez. We'll be back in a flash. I'm telling you, give me Scotty B in the back of the bullpen. Hernandez is just lost at sea.
Well, I did it. I woke up today.
On this date in 1904, in the team's 3-1 victory over the Brooklyn Superbas, later known as the Dodgers, at the Polo Grounds, Giants first baseman Dan McGann steals 5 bases to establish a major league record. 32-year-old Kentucky native will be surpassed in 1912 by Philadelphia A's second baseman Eddie Collins, who will swipe 6 bags in a game twice that season. On this date in 1928, after George Sisler clears waivers in the American League, the Boston Braves purchased the 35-year-old first baseman from the Senators for $7,500. The future Hall of Famer will finish the 15-year career in Boston, hitting .326 during his 3 seasons with the team. And on this date in 1937, Carl Hubbell retires 6 consecutive batters while pitching the 8th and 9th inning in relief to win his 24th consecutive game over 2 seasons when the Giants beat the Cincinnati Reds 3-2. Mel Ott's 9th inning home run is the difference in the contest at Crosley Field. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Welcome back. When you talk about the imperfect numbers in baseball, you realize that the Braves storm back and score 3 runs in this inning, and Iglesias slams the door and gets the win. It would be Daysbel Hernandez who would get the win in the win column for the Braves, and that's why the win statistic to me just doesn't mean anything. Not in today's game. It meant something long, long ago when most guys pitched the entire game. Jordan Romano, the closer, he's got an ERA of 8.05, and he's got a strikeout rate of 28. He's walked 8 batters and struck out 24 in his appearances, so you can work the count. Michael Harris swings at the first pitch, a slider. Somehow 83 miles an hour blew it right by him. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-lefty. Slider taken all the way for a strike. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Standing on deck is Drake Baldwin. The 0-2 to Michael. Whiffed at one, nowhere near the zone. Strike 3. Go sit down. 1 away. Michael Harris, another strikeout, bringing Drake Baldwin to the plate. And after Drake Baldwin, it'll be Ronald Acuna Jr. So there is some hope here. Just got to get it going. First pitch on the way to Drake is a swing and a miss at a slider. It's 0-1. Of course, just like most all the other batters, Drake's seeing these guys for the first time in his career. That's hard enough, but coming off the bench cold, it's really difficult. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Drake Baldwin hitting .306 in the 7th inning on 2 doubles and a home run and 6 RBI to his credit. He's just trying to get aboard. The 1-1. Swing, check, swing down the third base line. Just foul. He almost got an excuse me double down that line. As they're playing him to pull on the infield back and to the right. If that would have trickled in fair, it would have dribbled down the line long enough for Drake to get to second. The game of inches. The 1-2. High and out of the zone, 2-2. Trying to get him to chase. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Chops it over to first. That's going to be an easy out. 2 down.
I told you the Drake was bad. I hate the Drake.
You got to have fun. All right, so two down. Last chance is Ronald Acuna Jr. But the last thing he can do, the best thing he can do, is make it a one-run game. So, standing on deck is Riley. First pitch on the way to Acuna. 94 inside. It's 0-1. Braves and Phillies looking to be rained out tomorrow, so I'm thinking doubleheader on Thursday, but we'll see how they play it. If not, the next chance would be 5 games in 4 days here in Philly later in the year. I believe it's next month. I believe it's late June. 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. 1-1 count. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Swing. Slaps it towards center. That'll end the game. F8 in your scorecard, and the Braves go quietly, get blanked again, and it's a 2-0 final. Phillies take it to the Braves in game number 1. Really not a very impressive win for Philadelphia, but they gutted it out. And that's really all you can ask from a baseball team. The Braves fell flat again on a game 1 of a road trip, and really there's not really a bright side to this one. Spencer Strider only went 4 2/3 innings. We needed much more out of him than that. The bullpen, all in all, except for the Daysbull Hernandez experience, was pretty good. Montero came in, got an out. Lee got an out. Lee got a full inning. De Los Santos got a full inning. Montero just got the 1/3 of an inning. But Daysbull Hernandez unraveled. And when you bring him in like that and he unravels and you go from a 1-run game to a 2-run game in the 9th inning, it changes all your strategy. So we go back to the drawing board. My assumption will be we'll see you for a doubleheader on Thursday. Maybe we'll get one in, but I doubt it. Have a good night, Braves country. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville 9 that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.